Right, there we go.
Sorry, one sec.
So, this is exactly how it should start.
Start again.
I was just in the flow. I did the breathe in, the hands are up. Fucking give me.
We're in.
We're in. You're in the zone. Awesome. Yeah.
One a day till 100K. Look, I've been with plenty women, still don't know how women think. Been through the good and bad, really through the thick and thin. Sometimes I'm questioning the world that they be living in. Their standards be a fantasy to fan their public image. If it's Twitter, 6 figures isn't rich now, huh? But IRL, they gave it up for a chipped out blunt. I'd rather stay in the house and leave the bitch out front. I won't fit into your criteria list, now what? See, she say she like to sniff and hit a dab. I think Shotty wildin'. She go from power to the gas like she in a hybrid. Say she doesn't do this often, guess she got some mileage. She say she into Libras, I said I'm into silence. Come with baggage, I ain't carrying your luggage, bitch. She get to lying and she come up with the dumbest shit. Starts talking about my truth, I'm making fun of it. The greatest thing about truth is it's only one of it, Cole.
Stop digging! Cammy, stop digging!
CammyGBR, I am here, but I am not here on my own cuff. I have the return of almost like the goat on the mountain hill, ready to come down and see what's going on down here. I have Lunar C. How are you, doggy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm okay. So I will be totally honest. Like I said, this is a first interview for me. So like, and people that do watch the channel, they'll be aware of it, and it'll no doubt be a car crash for me at some point. But I went and got like food real quick. And I felt quite bad because, like, I was running errands, and then I thought, you know, I'll just get some like a Subway or something. And then this runner club like ran right fucking past me, so I felt like I had to like tuck my Subway roll like inside the jogger so it didn't look like a total dickhead. But apart from that, man, I am good. So Luna, the first thing I've generally wanted to ask, and I'm not sure many people do ask this, a wee while ago, your name was brought up in a Brighton promo.
In a what? Sorry.
In a Brighton promo. Do you remember they had the council, and then your name was brought up from our Sowing Seas to our Lunar Seas? You have no idea what I'm on about.
Nah.
Right.
Are you on about Bradford?
I'll have a look at that. Bradford, fuck me. Yeah, there's the car crash. So yeah, Bradford, you had the whole Bradford shit where it was like your Lunar Seas and all that.
Bro, I didn't know what the fuck you was on about then. I thought you were telling me some Brighton battle rap event had a promo video where someone called me out or some shit. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. Charlotte Bronte and Lunar C are the two people who they mentioned, man. So I was very flattered.
So did you know about that then? Because
Nah.
From what I'm aware of, you hold Bradford like quite dear to your heart. So having them kind of give you that back must have felt fucking amazing.
100%, bro. I was flattered, man. That's one of those things that like you could show your nan and she'll understand that that's sick. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't really. There's not many things that I do where I can show my family like, oh, look at this. Like, so that was cool, man. What do you mean?
Do you want to show your family about Uno talking about buckets and shit?
Yeah.
That's a problem. Yo, look, he said big buckets. Yo, what a guy. But look, that
I don't really go running to my nan with my rap battles to show her my material. No. I'm gonna start running my round, like showing her my rounds before I do battles, man. I gotta do that.
Yeah,
see if she approves.
You know what? That's a great promo video, to be honest. If you could sit there and you get your Nana's thoughts, and she reacts to your bars. Like the week before you battle Madness, my Nana's thoughts, and then she just fucking slates you for 10, 15 minutes. That's a great fucking promo, to be honest.
To be honest, my nan would be a sick battle rapper, man, because she fucking she pars me all the time. One time I was chilling with like just like a little family gathering, like with a few of my aunties and my nan, and my nan just came out with, "Oh, she gave me a compliment on how I looked, but then followed it up with, "Oh, because you was the ugliest baby I've ever seen." That's what she said to me, and I was like, "What?" And then I brought that up at another family gathering about 2 years later, and the response was, "It wasn't just me who used to say it." like that makes it better.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
So I tell you, she might have something in there. Like, what was her name? Joyce France.
Joyce.
We can start.
Yeah,
Yeah. You can start like it'll be like the AROAP. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be nan battles. There you go.
Yeah, every battle rapper has to bring their nan. That'd be sick.
You know what? Family matters. There you go. You bring your family over, and then you have to say the same shit. That's a different level of pressure. Imagine choking in front of your family.
I know, man. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's definitely a battle rapper nightmare, man. I feel like every battle rapper talks about they have the nightmare where they get on stage and have no material and just blank out. But yeah, I feel like that would be equally nightmare.
You're poking stick, and she's just like that. Come on, rap, son. Rap, son.
You're letting the family down.
That is rough as fuck. I tell you, my mother was like, when my mother was alive, she was kind of similar like that and pawing me off. Like, I remember, okay, we talk a little bit myself here. I came back from a Christmas, like, usually, you'll know, Lunar, you know Christmas Eve and you have nights out.
You have what, sorry?
Nights out. You know, you go out and Christmas Eve, just before Christmas Day, you go get fish and shit, right? Yeah. I got 2 fish. And then I ended up missing Christmas morning because I got picked up, let's say. And I had to, like, my mother was on the look for me that morning. And then I ended up in, like, this really like, it's a really rough area in my small town. And my mother seen the woman, let's say, that picked me up and slated on me saying that she was super ugly and you've wrecked Christmas morning for that. Like, I didn't even get a chance to like roll up the window when she was in there. It's like,
you've ruined Christmas. That's hilarious.
Fuck that! Like, I'm sure she had like the arm out the car window and everything. That
you made that girl's Christmas as well. I bet she was devastated.
Yeah. It must have, like, I don't speak to her anymore, but I think that's probably a good thing. So I will say as well, Luna, I noticed 1 or 2 things a little bit outside of battle rap. Like, you were doing the comedy show thing for a while. Is that you were doing stand up and whatnot? Is that still an ongoing thing, or?
Not right now. I mean, nothing is an ongoing thing right now, just because I'm completely focused on getting this battle out the way, and then I'm waiting to get back on my music, which also took a backseat to the comedy. So yeah, to be honest, I got really obsessed with the comedy thing, but it only really was for like 3 months. But I did so much in that. Yeah, like I did so much in that amount of time, because I had a podcast with Danny McLaughlin, who's a sick comedian, and he does shows at night, and he was putting me on little slots and stuff. So I got a lot done in that time, and I was really enjoying it. But I just, man, I was trying to explain this to Lon, but like basically ADHD takes over, and like a big part of that is hyperfixation, and I have to just do whatever my ADHD decides that I'm into at the time. So for a while that was comedy, but then because of coming off the back of I knew as soon as I did the Marv battle and didn't get the reactions I would have hoped for in America, as soon as that happened, I kind of knew that I had unfinished business in battle rap, and that I kind of owed the UK a fucking battle, because I feel like it was a no-brainer that I had to do it. I can't go out on that battle anyway, man. I need to have a sick one over here.
You'll need that crown over your head to say you did it.
Yeah, man.
I see that. Like, you know, I think when you came back, I mean, unfortunately, it was like LA and whatnot, and there's a personal belief that I have, Luna, that if you had like a battle just before in the UK in your stomping ground, that people then seen, they'd be able to know what you're going to be like.
Right, yeah. Like, and I'd have been able to warm up in a sense for something that's kind of out of my comfort zone. I think it was not a stupid decision, because I know why I did it. Because I obviously, Disaster called me out of the blue when I was already thinking about battling and said he needs me on a fucking grind time card. It kind of felt like something that I definitely couldn't turn down. So,
who's going to say no to that?
Exactly, man. And there wasn't really time to do anything in between. So, yeah, man. It's not that I regret it. I think it was an amazing experience. I think it's going to make me 10 times better in this battle, just coming off the back of that. Because, to be honest, one of the reasons I wanted to do that as well was because I knew I wouldn't have it easy, and it felt like a challenge again. And towards the end of my run in battle rap, I felt like I was getting too much gas, and it was getting a bit too overhyped. Where, like, I was saying this to Lorne as well, man. In my last battle, in my little 6 battle run back in the day, the 2-on-2, we was trying to get. Yeah, it was Young Zim and Philly Swain versus me and Matter. And we could barely get the first 2 bars of the battle out without the fucking roof coming off. And I'll be honest, man, it didn't feel good. It felt almost embarrassing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because I'm looking at it from the people who are in the scene's point of view. And I was like, man, this has pissed me off too. I get why people hate me. It's annoying.
I see what you're saying though, because if you're battling and whatnot, you want to win over the crowd. You want to earn it. But if you walk in there, say ha ha he, and you're reacting, and they're giving all their material and getting nothing, like the fun of it's kind of out for you. But that's like a there's a double-edged sword on stardom, essentially, because you flew off as soon as you started battling, and I don't know the total reasons, like if it was popularity before or if it was just your battles caught traction and how YouTube worked at that time. You fucking flew.
And just to return to that initial point, when they're overreacting to your setups, that's like you say, a double-edged sword. That's great because it's easy work, but it also fucks up your momentum and takes away from the actual punchline, and having to stop and start so much is frustrating, and it does take away from your performance. And I used to write in a certain way where I had to accommodate for the crowd reactions, because I don't think that's particularly a bad thing, but do you see, like, these days how people run their whole round back after they get a big not the whole round, but maybe the whole rhyme scheme to try to show you they want you to see them rapping, bro, on how they transition from one bar to the next fucking, and that's something that I think is sick in this day. And I used to look at, like, why are people running their round back so far back? Like, I got to listen to the whole fucking 12 bar scheme again, but now I get it. I get why they're doing it, because they want you to hear them rapping, man. They don't want it to be a fucking I drop a punchline and you react and then this. It's different. And don't get me wrong, I still am writing expecting to get reactions for certain bits, and it don't. And I've took that into consideration. But there are also bits that I want to get out in their entirety. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, I've spoke to a few battle rappers about that, and as well, that just part of that, obviously, like, the fans appreciate the line, as you're saying, they appreciate what you're saying. But as you've just told me there, that battle rap, like, you're wanting your peers to appreciate, and they appreciate the construct, the build. How do you get to the journey that you get on? And you're not even getting a chance to do that, because you say boo and the crowd goes ghost. You know what I mean? Like, they're instantly going crazy for you. So I really relate to that in a way that you just want more. You want to be considered more of a rapper, because how could you get into a pocket in that time? Like an actual concise pocket that you can share around, if the crowd's cutting you off every 2 bars because they're laughing at something you said.
Yeah, and it's the same as, like, if you, like, there's a lot of, it's similar to comedy in a sense, because there's a lot of one-liner comedians who say some really genius one-liners, and for a 5-minute video, it's really good, and they pack a lot of ideas into a short amount of time. But if you watch one of those one-liner comedians do an hour set, half an hour in, you feel like you're being fucking punched in the head repeatedly. Like it's not. You need the story, you need the journey, you need the build up, the setups, the momentum. You need that sort of thing, and obviously. Yeah, it's like you say, double-edged sword, man, because you want the reactions and you want as many as possible. But I think that is why they do that running it back shit, man, and it makes a lot of sense. And and you know, battling in America where this is one of the things I learned, and I was kind of trying to adjust during the battle because I didn't preempt that it would be a thing. I just wrote like how I used to write. Which is kind of embarrassing because I'm writing and leaving space for reactions, which didn't necessarily happen.
That's watching the battle. That's one of the two things I thought I might have seen maybe in the first that you were stopping and going, just keep going. Which it's what happens in battle rap, man. But you've probably done that because
I tried to do it during the. I tried to adjust and I was like, oh shit. Maybe I gotta like keep, I don't know, like just to the next bar, and try and build some momentum. But man, that battle was an uphill struggle. But I'll be honest.
Absolutely. So being in that event, did you think you learned something watching the other guys? Like, you had to read dollars there.
I don't think I particularly learned something from the other guys in the sense of, I mean, you get inspired, obviously. I saw some amazing battles in that. But I think I've taken enough from Grind Time and these guys already where I've adapted what I've learned from the battle rappers I grew up watching and kind of formed my own style. And I honestly just think now it's about, and I think I've done it for this Madness battle, it's about what does 2024 Lunar C sound like in a battle? Like what is that? And I think it took me to be taken out of my comfort zone for me to really think about that. And how do I can't just come back exactly the same, but I also can't come back with some updated version that strays too far from what people want from me. So it's making both of those things mesh. I have to update my shit, but I have to give the people what the fuck I'm booked for and what people are going to want to see. So I think I've done it, man. I think my bars and my jokes and hopefully I can't speak for my performance yet until I've actually done the performance, but hopefully it's just all across the board on point.
Man. Absolutely. Like, I wondered that when you had your O'Shea battle, that was a couple, like, obviously that was a while ago now. It's crazy to say that was a while ago.
9 years, man. 9 years.
Like, that was a thought that I had about at that point. Is your style going to still be original? How battle rap changes all the time, like, and you fit that style pretty well. I mean, you might say what was that? Salam alaikum. But can't remember that bar. The only thing you do, no bastard mixing with it too. I didn't really notice that when I was in the room, but it came out on camera like Eminem in the interview. You don't know me, I'll get 5 strangers to stomp you out until your head is caved in and split open at an angle that's 6 degrees of separation. I was gonna let him live, but he's talking about Muslims in my town and that's harsh. And I'm religious with his shit, so I can't allow a whack bar. I just gonna go, ooh, it's maybe that's at the time, but
I think that's fire. I stand by that bar, man. I think that's fire. The only one I regret is the Tony D bar.
Oh,
and you know what? In that rhyme scheme, I had like a good few sick bars. Like I tweeted this the other day because I didn't remember the Tony D bar, and I wouldn't have tweeted this if I'd have remembered it because basically I tweeted the your bird looks like ODB. I had to thumb a floppy in like an old PC, and then there was another thing that rhymed with it that was sick. Like someone quoted it, and I was just like, I can't. Do you know what I thought that? I honestly think I thought that was almost like one of those it's terrible but it's funny bars. And you know, like how I kept going like terrible, fucking terrible, taking the piss out of O'Shea because he does that he'll say some shit and then go terrible. And I did that but I didn't do it on that bar. And I delivered it like it was an amazing punchline. And look, watching back, honestly, I can't watch that without cringing, man. And like, yeah, like, honestly, since then I've just been like, I think that's probably my worst bar on anything. Like, it's terrible, but only because I didn't put across that it was supposed to be silly.
Yes,
and that is fully on me. Do you know what I'm saying?
But that's exactly that. That's why you're. I don't think you're cringing at the bar. Maybe it's just the fact that you had a plan with it and you didn't do it, and and it died on that hill because you just kept going. Like I hear that, Luna. That is Tony D. That was in the back of my. That's way back here. I forgot that you said that as well.
Yeah, man.
Oh God. So before going through talking about madness in particular, because I have a few thoughts on it and as well. You're part of this little super group now, kind of in battle rap, right? Am I right in saying that? It was kind of like you, Shotty, Koji, and a few others.
AFD, man. AFD. Nothing's happened yet, man. So I think everybody still has all the intention to make that happen, and I'm waiting, man. We've had a few bumps in the road in terms of getting the beats, which is obviously the only other thing we need to sort. Like, I think we should have kind of thought about that before we spoke about it publicly, to be honest. But
you've got Koji now. I know he's doing his challenge and stuff, but I'm sure he could whip something up in a few days.
Well, the problem is, of course, I agree. But the problem is, we actually had a producer who we all agreed on, and his beats were amazing. None of us know him though, and he just kind of went cold on us. And when you everything was there, we had all picking beats, and we was all really hyped about it. So the gas has been taken out of it a little bit in that sense, but we all just have to recoup, and we kind of allowed it for a bit because we was leaving Shotty to do the twerk battle, and then that didn't happen. So since then, we have spoken a little bit, and like I say, I think everybody still wants to make that happen. So I'm just ready whenever I get the call, man. So
I just wonder then, like, if you're preparing, and I know nothing about ghostwriting or anything like that, but being in this new group now, has that maybe then formed a new way
I'm ghostwriting for all of them, man. I'm ghostwriting for all of everyone in the group.
You got the strapped in and everything. You had that all for sure. But I just wonder, like, if you're having that group, surely there is like some sort of like, okay, maybe Bobby does this, and I've heard him rap or whatnot. Maybe I could take a bit of that. How does he? You know what I mean? Has that been also an influence on the 2024 Luna?
Am I taking influence from them guys? Do you mean
a little bit? Yeah. Like I'm not meaning like in a negative way, but like, you see, he does this pretty well, and I've spoke to him about a few things. He maybe said a bar or something. Oh, I like how he did this. I like how maybe is there anything, or you've already said you're kind of focused on Luna. And I just wondered if maybe they had something to do with it, or like to help or whatever. Like,
nah, nobody's really given me any sort of pointers or anything like that. And we haven't actually rapped together on any tunes yet either. Like, we haven't heard any of each other's verses or anything like that. I know that we all started writing verses, which is exciting because I know they've all got bits written ready to go. So it's just annoying because we had beats that we've written to, and it's kind of shit for us at the moment. And it's nobody's fault other than just we lost touch with the geezer. He just stopped replying and stuff. I don't know what's going on with him. I'd quite like
to talk to your group chat essentially.
Now we got a chat, man, and we were locked in, man. We was fucking picking beats, like I say, but we haven't heard each other's bars yet, man. It was supposed to everybody get in the studio and just go, and I was looking forward to that, man, because I know that everybody's good, man. It's a bunch of battle rap on top of it being a lot of people who can rap really well on beats. It's a lot of battle rappers too, so I know there was going to be that competitive vibe, and I was excited for it, man.
Oh,
a lot of different styles, man.
imagine that, like, you guys release an album and it kind of becomes each track is obviously like verses, it's not like real actual battles, but it's like track one, Shotty Lunar, who had the best verse, Bobby Koji, who had the best verse, these three, you know, there could be a competitive thing every track. So I think actually starting to think the culture will look forward to it when it happens, and maybe we just drill that on the head, like, yeah, when is this happening?
Yeah, exactly. And we spoke about this, and there's two ways of looking at it, because you have to be careful with that, because there's making a good album and making everything gel and making our styles complement each other and working together in a collaborative way. That's one approach. And then there's the other approach of like, bro, I'm gonna hear fucking Gemini or Tony's verse, and I'm gonna be like, I want to take his head off, or wow, he killed that so much, I have to pull out my A game, kind of thing. So, but you're in danger of making some shit that don't really sound sonically like cohesive and like pleasurable to listen to if it's all just because, man, say Bobby does a fucking the maddest punchline verse you've ever heard, and it's all like really clear, but then I think, oh well, the only way I can outdo him is if I just do a fucking double time verse where I'm fucking shouting. Like, that's not good. That's not good for the song. Do you get me? So we did speak about this, and it was like that we have to find some. But man, we're all sick rappers, so the competitiveness is there anyway, like in the quality of what we're doing. But also the challenge would have been trying to. And I say would have been like it's not going to happen. I still believe that it's going to happen. But making it all gel and getting together with a bunch of people who've never worked together and working well together, do you know what I'm saying? And I do think it would have worked. I think he picked the right people. Shotty was kind of the brains behind it. And I think it's a really good idea. And I definitely, there's no reason why that can't still happen this year, man. We've just got to get the beats.
We'll definitely be looking for that, man. Like, if we need to just feel like, right, is this something happening? You know, like, because I feel like it did kind of go quiet for a while, and it just something that I'll try to keep on top of to see if there's any news. But yeah, it's a shame nothing's happened yet. But I do get you trying to make it. It's okay. I don't know if you ever seen my Twitter rants and whatnot. My bias here between the Kendrick and Drake shit, I feel that Drake stuff is better to listen to in comparison to Kendrick. But obviously, not like us, totally up there. And I would struggle to be in a car and listen to Meet the Grahams with anyone without sounding like a sociopath.
Yeah. No, I get you, man.
I could throw Family Matters on. I could throw that on. That's not too bad. It just sounds like 3 different songs. But no,
well, what you're saying is it's a great point, and it is the same concept of like, no matter who you think's winning with the bars or who's cutting deeper with the rumors and bullshit that came into that little rap beef, there's also the argument of whose song sounds better and whose song are you going to listen to again. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's not necessarily always the one who said pedophile 20 times in it. It might be the one that just sounds nice. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
like there was always a connecting scheme to that. I remember that Drake had done. It's the thing that I do always listen to most. It's basically about how Kendrick might actually be Michael Jackson because he started rapping for the whites, and as it features a whites, and then it was it connected to a point that Kendrick's brother is called Jermaine, like Michael Jackson's brother is, and how Michael Jackson pushed him from the limelight the same way that Kendrick doesn't want Jermaine involved in this back and forth, and how that sounded so poetic inside it. It's one thing that I look for, but then I know I've got battle rap ears, so I don't need to hear about A minor. I don't need that. This
is it, man. And Drake's very tapped into the battle shit too, so I'm sure that's why. Yeah, man, and Kendrick does have a few bits that are a bit he got a couple bars, bro. Like, what else did he say? He said something else that was a bit like, the other vaginal option bar. OVO stands for
that's the other vaginal option, like
The OVO, the other vaginal option, bro. That's you could never say that. You could never say that in a rap battle. You get memes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like Tony. That's like the Tony D bar, man. That's his Tony D.
Exactly it. You and Kendrick are one of one. You know, that's it. That's completely confirmed.
Shite minds think alike, man.
So let's get to madness, right? Now,
yeah, man. Let's talk.
I've not put a video out or anything because there is a thought of like madness. You coming back to the UK is massive, and when everyone's talking about, oh, this battle happened here, this could be that. I know I was quite a proponent for saying Shuffle T would have been a good match. We'll get to all that in a sec, but it was a thought when Madness came out. Everyone's knee-jerk reaction is went, why? Because the last battle that Madness had was, I think, versus Kid Twist. It like with the bodied rematch.
Right.
Like, when the bodied movie came, it was a promotional thing because I think Madness had a brief cameo in it. And that must have been about 6-7 years ago. Like, so
really?
It was a long time ago with the body movie. That was
when but YouTube. He's battled more recent than that, though, hasn't he?
Not that unless something's like went on KOTD and slipped past the radar. It's been a long time.
Well, let me have a look. I should have done this research.
I could be wrong.
I should know when he last battled, to be fair, but I'll have a look. You know what? I seen him on the Royal Rumble for Cadillac Ron's thing, and he was against like it was a Royal Rumble, so there was like Big K.
So Big K was on it.
You know what? He fucking held his own in that battle, bro, and he was sick. And I'm trying to think of what other recent ones he's done. So he battled
Don Marino.
That's it, Don Marino, yeah.
Don Marino.
And that was cool.
I remember the thing about him returning. And Dirtbag Dan was like, oh, he's returning with us. And then he had a battle Don Marino 2 weeks ago after having a 5-year break.
Yeah. And you know what, man? In terms of the matchup, I personally think it's a good matchup because so when I first had a thought before I got the grind time offer, I was very much in this egotistical wanting to prove myself, similar mind state to what I was before the O'Shea battle, where I'm like, nah, I got bars, I can hold my own against like one of the sickest battlers kind of thing. And man, I was asking for some crazy battle. I'll try to set up battles with premier battles with, I'm not even going to mention who because I'd still quite like to do it in the future, and I want it to be a surprise.
I can if you don't have to tell me, doesn't have to be it. I had this on my little list of questions to ask. There was talk about premier battles in Funky Dee.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! All right, yeah, let's get that out of the way. That's one of the most embarrassing moments of my whole life, yeah. And I'm just gonna be complete. As much as I don't want to admit this, yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest, right? Mm-hmm. He talked his way into a battle just by annoying me on Twitter so much that like, and it got to the point where I was about to do the battle, and I'm not going to name names, but like people who I work with in music who know Funky Dee was like, this is a bad look, man. What the fuck are you doing? And then I realized this as it was getting set up. And there was a point where I was fully ready out to sign a contract. He was ducking it, like he was nowhere to be seen. As soon as I was like, yes, he was nowhere to be seen. Then something happened in my personal life, and it just kind of took all the kind of air out of me at that time, and I just because he still hadn't signed the contract or agreed to it, I was just like, man, this ain't how I want to come back to battle rap, bro, with this guy. Do you know what, bro? I ain't got nothing against Funky Dee personally. He could be the coolest guy in the world, bro. Like there's some people have online personas, and some people just troll to get to the top, and there's some people who do that. Well, I think Orlando Brown is the funniest motherfucker in the world, and if that's all an act, I still appreciate it. I think he's hilarious, and if that's what Funky Dee's doing, then fucking fair play to him. It's working. But I also think that he ain't great for battle rap, and the shit that the clips I've seen of him getting mad reactions off saying the word country 5 times. Like, I don't see what he's bringing other than trolling and causing. And you know what? There's some people that battle rap needs people who are interesting, and they need people who cause conversations and cause an uproar. So I ain't hating on Funky Dee, man. He should do his thing. He's done things in music. It's all good in it, but I don't think I should be even supporting what he's. On the other hand, I just don't think it's cool. Like, I don't need to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm trying to do. So yeah, that whole situation was almost embarrassing for me, and I do you know what, man? He drew me out. He did. Like, he fucking his plan worked momentarily, and he nearly got what he wanted, or he at least pretended to want. Because when I was actually saying yes, he was nowhere to be seen. And then as soon as I was like, nah, fuck it, then he was like, oh, where's Lunar C? Tell him to sign the contract. He's a fucking dickhead. He's ducking me. And I literally just had to block him, because I was like, I'm not engaging in this shit, man. Like, it's not good for either of us. So yeah, that was all a mess.
Like,
London Jen, if you watch this video, which I'm sure you won't, because I don't think you like me, but take that fucking video down, man. It's dead.
Was it a face-off or something, was it? Or like,
yeah,
was this...
fucking, yeah, it was, yeah. I don't know why I promoted it on this video, because I don't want anyone to see it.
It's fine, though. Like, if you need to say what you need to say, like, I'm totally free to do that. I was one of the people, I will say, I'm not going to be fake about it, is that I was one of the people behind, I was behind Anderson Burris. I was at that event, and I saying the word country, there was the other connections to it. I reacted to it, but I think part of it was a momentum building. I know, I'm that guy. And you are right. Like, definitely, Funky comes across as like a total persona of poking. I'm not surprised he managed to get someone and be like, because it's a great look for him to say that, oh, Lunar C ducked me. That's a promo on himself. Anyway.
And you know what, man? A million people have said Lunar C has ducked him, because as soon as basically, nobody wanted to battle me when I was battling, bro. When I was on the run and Sensor was the biggest battler in the fucking country, or at least I was the biggest battler in the country. He was the most top tier, supposedly unbeatable one. I don't know why I'm saying supposedly. That sounds like massive hatred, and I don't hate the guy. He was the guy. Technically, he was the guy, bro. Like, but he wouldn't battle me, man. I don't know. Like, I was getting more views than him. I was getting more attention. I thought I had something to offer him, and he didn't want it. And then as soon as I left, everybody suddenly wanted to battle me, bro. And honestly, ask anyone who was about at that time, that just wasn't the case when I was battling, bro. It really wasn't. And I'd already cut my losses and was kind of falling out of love with battle rap and trying to focus on my music at that time. And it got to the point where by the time, like, certain people was calling me out where they were sick, like, and I did rate them, and it would have been a good battle. I was like, man, I've turned so many people down, and like, I almost feel like I'm dick riding you if I battle you now. Like, I've told everybody that, like, if I just come back to like, oh, nah, this guy is good enough. Like, it felt weird, and especially I didn't feel like doing that for people who was just online talking shit about me either, to be honest. Yeah. And a lot of those people I'm cool with now, and I get it. We was all young, and it's the nature of battle rap. It's competitive. You got to kind of tear each other down in a sense, man. It just is what it is. But I've always struggled with just seeing that as part of the game,
part of the culture,
and still being friends with the people, because I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a weirdo. Like, maybe I should be able to separate those two things. But it's always been something that I've kind of not understood, and I haven't made a lot of friends in battle rap because of that. Because I've kind of stayed out of the way and being a bit of the odd one out in a sense, almost intentionally. Because I'm like, man, I don't. Yeah, it's strange to me still to this day, but I understand it more now. But in practice, I still don't think I would be comfortable with it.
Nah, you've kind of come, like, in your journey in battle rap, Lunar. It's kind of been like, you even with like the Sidemen stuff and all the people that react to your, like, the compilations that have like over 1 million views and whatnot, that people are watching it because it's genuine insults that they would say to their friends or to someone they may know in a rhyme format. You know, there was a relatability to yourself, and that comes across in every battle that you do. Even though you're becoming a more complex rapper, working more routines, there is still that, you know, the you see, I've referenced like the Sidemen video. They were like originally watching URL battles, and they basically went, "Cut this shit off. Let's watch Lunar C."
Man, and honestly, as much as it sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet, that was a very conscious thing on my end, man, in the beginning, because I knew I needed to appeal to both sides, man. I want the people who nerd out on rhyme schemes and metaphors and punchlines and all that shit. I want to impress those people, but I also I want people to be at house parties and be like, "Oh, watch this guy, he's fucking funny." Do you know what I'm saying? And all the rhyme schemes and shit, they go over those people's heads. They're not even hearing that I'm doing multis or that has a double meaning and a punchline. I always try to make it so the double meaning is so strong in both meanings that it don't matter if you even get how clever it is. The shit's just funny. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it worked, man, and it worked better than I ever expected it to. And
Absolutely. Like the way that, and I'll give credit to a newer battle rapper now in the UK that kind of has a similar, but kind of, and I don't think you mind me saying this, what you're saying, but dad energy. I think Sean Cray is kind of leaning on the same way as you. Say the thing, just be the lad, be the guy that this is a funny comment, but be the person.
Yeah. And the rhyme schemes are there, and the fucking and the clever punchlines are there. I've said this already about Sean Cray, man. He's like giving people kind of what they want from that golden era of Don't Flop, man. He does kind of fucking embody that shit, and it's just him. It's so natural, and it's not. He don't sound like me. He don't sound like he's like. You can tell that he's being influenced by the same like O'Shea, and you can tell, but you could tell I was influenced by O'Shea, but neither of us sound like him. And yeah, man, I think he's fucking great, man, for sure. He's definitely a good example of that.
He's definitely there's not too I can't think of too many others right now with that same energy like that you and that Sean have that and I do say, and I wonder if you agree with this or not. I do. As you're saying, you don't understand like the whole insult, be friends after, and whatnot. And I'd agree. It can be a bit of a weird line, especially like Shotty, Yunnan, where they were friends, then they fell out, friends fell out, then they're falling out again. I always try and say to bring it in kayfabe. Like I don't know if you're much of a wrestling fan, but like that's like it is the fake beef. But as long as we're aware that it's a fake beef. Because if you're aware, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to maybe even one message one time to say, I'm going to tweet this as a joke. It's just a joke, but I'm just, let's build up. Let's make some money. Let's get the tickets in. I don't even think that necessarily happens a lot of the time. I think people like I see Gemini and Shotty do it a lot where they're clearly cool with each other. They clearly respect each other and they don't have any real beef. But now and again, they'll be on the timeline talking crazy to each other, but I don't think there's ever a conversation in the DM where they're like, "Oh, yo, today we're gonna go in." I genuinely think they just both they know it, like, and they probably have a better understanding of that than me, and because they've done this more consistently, and they've obviously come to terms with these things, and I genuinely do think it is something that I've just in the early, and you have to understand, man. I went from being the biggest battle geek in the world to being like the biggest battle rapper in the country, and then everyone suddenly rated me, and then everyone suddenly hated me, and it all kind of fried my head, man. I was like 20, you know what I'm saying, and I didn't understand it, and I just thought everyone was a fucking hateful wanker, do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like it's weird because with Premier Battles, I honestly do think it's been since Premier Battles. Like there's this camaraderie amongst the battlers where a lot of them, they give each other flowers so much on the timeline, and that just didn't used to be a thing. It was kind of a bit more fuck everyone in my eyes anyway. Like for sure,
people were friends, but there was never you never saw people going online and ranting about how great another battler is, or like this thing now where it's quite grown up, to be honest. Like and in the same breath they'll talk shit about each other, and nobody gets their nobody gets their feelings hurt, talking backwards. So I rate that they can be comfortable with that, man. I think it's cool, and I do understand it. I do, but I just know that there was a time that I didn't.
I would agree with you on that, actually. Maybe this is a slight negative spin on it. I know I'll use the term, but it's not exactly that. Obviously, Don't Flop is back, but when they disbanded and Don't Flop died, essentially, like viewership all left, like at the time. And so the fans that stayed were the fans that appreciated the culture rather than were fans of battlers.
Well, yeah, and it made it so that there was like a necessity to pull together and have some kind. Yeah, man, for sure, and that does show, and that's cool, man. It does feel, it is man. It's such a tight knit community, bro, in a way that I don't see in any other sort of subculture anywhere, bro. I don't like, everybody knows each other. Everybody knows what each other are on. And it's mad. It's crazy, bro. Like, it's sick because of that. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Battle rap is a very personable sport. Like, if you are a shit person, but if you want to play the heel and then you attack and it works, great. But if you want a reaction to be a face or a hero or whatever, you have to be friendly. You have to be. You can't be a dickhead in real life and just say funny jokes, because no one's going to react to it, because your person-to-person reaction, then people don't want to react for you. Like, you kind of have to tailor your personality to your material. It sounds weird that that's where like the battle rappers in the play and the person takes a back seat, which I think Gemini, Shotty do. Shotty and Quill do it all the time. They're like arguing back and forth, but they host spaces together. Like, the battle rappers take place first, then the person behind it.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I'm not good at that. Like the other day, I took this out of Quill for a bar, and I think he got offended, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm just fucking having a laugh, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I'm just terrible at doing that, or if people aren't used to seeing me do it in a light-hearted way. Because a lot of the time, over the years, it's been a lot of me retaliating to people who have tried to troll me, and I just went in a really actually trying to ruin your day kind of way, where like I was just like, I got to
messaging their mother and screen app and shit.
Well, I was just clearly like being looking like. I was clearly trying to be a cunt back to these people who I felt like was, and it was only ever because I never saw a reason why they done it to me initially. So I was like, once you come at me out of nowhere for no reason, and I haven't said a fucking word to you, then I feel like anything goes. Like, you've asked for it, you know what I'm saying? So I always had that. I'm very different now. I'm definitely just block people and don't want to be a bit. If somebody makes me act out of character on Twitter, I'll go away and feel like a dickhead for 3 days and try not to even tweet as much these days, because it's just not cool anymore. I'm way too old for that shit. But man, I used to fucking love that shit, bro. Like, if it's not even that I loved it, but I had to learn to love it, because I was like, this ain't gonna go away. People are always gonna talk shit about me, and the better I do, the more it happens. So this is what it is, bro. You're not bullying me, bro. Like, I'm not just gonna be the fucking target, mate. You're gonna learn. And it was a case of that as well, where like every few days I'd just fucking rinse somebody on the timeline just to show other people that you're not gonna jump in my mentions and be able to just talk crazy to me because I have time. You know what I'm saying?
Look what happens there. You are Lunar C. You then have a lot of people at some point, especially when you became like more famous and all the views were coming in, and where there's not the same moderation in social media sites. Someone says the wrong thing and it gets shared around, then that gets sent to your family. That gets you're just trying to end it there. Like, it's not going any further. Cut it now. And acting that, because if you shut the fuck up and say nothing, then you end up in a situation where they're going to keep saying it, and someone's like you're Lunar C. Bradford Post might pick up if someone's calling you like a naughty thing, you know, like you never know.
Man,
you never fucking know.
It's one of those. And that was all very new to me at the time, so I reacted. Yeah, exactly, man. And when Twitter was at its kind of peak, it was a fucking dark place to be, bro. Like people was horrible on that. Like you see people's careers being ruined now just from digging up some shit that they said 9 years ago, bro. Like it was a very different vibe, and YouTube was a different vibe. Like the comments used to be fucking awful, man, and you still get that. Like
yeah. Get the anime profile picture.
Nah, yeah, you get it still, but it's just not it. People have gotten to the point now where they're like, these people are shit houses if they're doing that. If they're spending the time doing that, then it says more about them in a sense. So
far, we're glad that they're not at the events. That's a big thing as well. They're not at the events. They're not around. So you're not actually going to deal with them really, unless they're hidden behind another name and they're being fake fuck. Like
this is it, man. And I think if that's the case, if something is only happening online, and you never come across it in person, then fuck it, man. Just fuck it. Who cares? You know?
So let's get back to madness.
Been a gob shite since young, but now I get paid for it. I'm on some big man stuff. I could outdo these MCs with both hands behind my back like I'm in handcuffs. I never link girls from my ends, cause I don't want a wife, no chick that rough. Bear crush velvet in a living room and a sign on the wall says live, laugh, love. I don't want no girlfriend, I'm just trying to get another notch on my belt. I say shit on songs that girls don't like and always cock block myself. Drug deals in a snooker all. Made some money and I blew it all. Them man at your back don't back you when it kicks off, you don't know who to call. So let's just keep it musical, or I might put your head through the wall. You can see that my life's beautiful, yours is shit, but that's not Lunar's fault. Jungle Boy Jake, just me.
Yeah.
So for you, battling madness, right? Was this then just like a milestone for yourself then?
Yeah, I think the matchup makes sense. I think like I was saying before we got onto the Funky Dee thing, initially I was coming at it as I just need to do some fucking bar heavy, angry rap battle where I prove that I can keep up to the current. But I honestly feel like that would have been compromising what people want from me a little bit too much. And don't get me wrong, bro. I'm not just coming with 3 rounds of fucking jokes. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be you're gay and your mum's a slag for 3 rounds. It's going to be.
Bro, I don't want, if you do, I'm not mad at it though. I'm not.
Nah,
mad at
bro.
That.
That's going to be.
If you're doing it in madness, I'm not mad at that.
Nah. This is what right. So, without giving too much away about how the battle is going to go on my end, I feel like I have figured out how to update my style and cover all bases, and I do think that the bars are going to be there, the jokes are going to be there, and I hopefully have done it justice, and people are going to get what they want from me, man, and more. So yeah, there's not going to be any stones unturned in that sense. But yeah, I was kind of. Because I am a rapper, man. Like I am a funny rapper. I make albums, bro. Like I you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fucking. If you go watch my Fire in the Booth or like listen to any of my tunes, it's not just me trying to be a funny guy. Like that's never been my aim. That's just my approach to my battle rap, and that's purely just because that's what used to win my battles. I figured that out fast during my first battle. They weren't really hearing my bars and shit. They wanted the funny shit, so I wanted to win the battles, so I stuck to that. But
like and at the time, battle rap, like UK battle rap at the time, I kind of always say that battle rap is like there's US battle rap and there's like world battle rap, right? Then the UK is kind of like maybe 2 years behind. It gets less and less each year. And at a time where at 2011 there was King of the Dot was kind of starting to peak, and Summer Madness 1, and like and yours, but how what the crowd wanted to see was 2009 prime grind time. That's what they wanted to see. So you've clearly just got reactions from a battle and went, keep doing it. Naturally, we've kind of always been on this bit of moving forward, but bit by bit with battle rap now, we're all becoming this one. So you and your style is kind of now we're at a point, I think after 2017, all styles, everyone became one, and we knew what we wanted to see in battle rap.
Yeah, and
So
I think that's a good and a bad thing, though, because I think we have kind of lost the variety a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think for me to come back and just try to fit into what has been going on would totally go against what made me get noticed in the first place, man. Like it's quite complicated to figure out, because you could just look at it in the sense of like, you need to just come back and be 2011 Lunar C and do what people want from you. And you can look at it and be like, nah, you're a better rapper than you was then. You should just come back and bar it to death. I honestly feel like finding that balance has been almost a task, but I think I've done it, man. And yeah, it's been, the battle will speak for itself. Maybe I'm talking shit and I just think, because it's not like I went into the Marv battle thinking that I didn't have it figured out either. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
But
I think you've been able to reflect on that, though. You've been able to reflect this.
I've learned from
as you said at the start of this, like you've had that situation, and you're better for it, and maybe a bit more of a lesson than you had in your last three, maybe, because
of course.
It wasn't success. It was try again.
Yeah. I mean, it's mad, because I'm not gonna lie, I do think if that battle happened in the UK, it would have been completely different. Definitely. And I can tell from the comments that like none of the comments are talking about how I was shit. Most of the UK comments are talking shit about the crowd, really. But I didn't want to just be like, oh yeah, fuck them, they don't get it. Like, bro, these are the people I watched growing up, who I tried to. So I'm never going to be like, oh, grind time, don't get it. Like, it's on me, you know what I'm saying? I have to take accountability and adapt to the situation I'm in, and I wish it had gone better. But man, 8 years out, and I came back and I felt comfy, and I battled a legend, and a lot of people think I won. I definitely didn't win in the room. I didn't win the crowd over. But yeah, I definitely don't regret it. I think circumstances could have worked more in my favor, but that's not what battle rap's about, man. It can't all just be catered to me. So yeah, man.
Part of this with battle rap, then, like, I'm assuming you've probably had to sit and think, how is Madness approaching this? Like, how does he battle you? Is there any thought there about what you're not expecting to hear to give him angles, but is it just going to be just normal Madness, or is he going to have the same thought as you? Is he adjusting to the UK crowd again? Last time he was here was a very long time ago.
Yeah, I have watched him battle in the UK, and I think he's pretty much just himself. And I'm not saying that's, like you say, that was a long time ago, so that might not be the case now. I'm sure he's put a lot of thought into how he's going to approach it, and how he's going to update his style from when he was active, and B, adapt to the UK crowd. I'm sure that's been his main focus. But man, I've thought about it, but I don't put too much thought into that. I'm not like one of these people who's like, oh, I bet he's going to say this, so I'm going to try and
write a pre-rebuttal. And
yeah, it just is what it is.
Fair. Like, it's one of those things with Madness is his style will be timeless. It will be. That's just how he is. He's not changed much. But as our crowd now, are we accepting that style? Like, as the UK, we've had a lot of internationals. We're getting pretty spoiled nowadays with internationals. I love it, but we are being spoiled with them.
Yeah.
We are being spoiled a lot.
You know what? I think I'm a good match for him. I think in context of him battling me, it's great. I think if he had to come and battle someone like fucking Koji or it would maybe be a bit weird. But I think because he's battling me, and people just, do you know what, man? I've realized that people love my Uno battle, and they love the funny shit, and they love it when I battle who's kind of. They like it when the other person's funny. Like, I get fans coming up to me all the time, and they're like, "Yo, you versus Uno is amazing. That guy is so funny, and you were so." And it's just like I love that because it doesn't need to be a fucking body bag or I'm battling someone who they fucking hate, who they just want to hear me say mean things to. I want Madness to come and be the best Madness possible and kill it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I want to kill him regardless of that, and that will make it look even better for me, obviously. But I think there is a thing of like where I have just sort of reflected on that and kind of put what my fans want over what battle fans want, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not
for sure.
Yeah, there is a difference, man, and that was all, and I embrace that. I love that, and it's weird because Checkpoint, which Checkpoint was it that I battled O'Shea? I don't even know.
Checkpoint 3?
Maybe.
Checkpoint 3, I think.
But like, man, there was dudes in that room watching the title match, fucking Soul versus C Major, who were both incredible, and they're literally disrespecting them during the battle and going, "Boo, this is boring. When's Lunar C coming on?" Which is kind of fucking embarrassing to me in the same way that the fucking overreactions were, because I actually care about battle rap, but these people don't necessarily care about battle rap. They just want to hear me call someone a cunt. But man, that's a good thing for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to build my fan base. This is ultimately promo for my music and for me as an artist. So, and I don't want people to be getting disrespected in the venue. And I've spoke to her about, like, man, we need to be mindful of that. So we kind of cater to these people who are buying tickets with the matchups, and the battles on the card have to kind of make sense for the event. Do you know what I'm saying? And don't have a load of fucking serious battles on.
When we talk about the event, that is something that the event itself is clearly catered for old time Don't Flop, and there's like, you get visual and fill in and whatnot. Like I said, we'll break down the whole card, but like there is like Lefty and Pamphlet, for example. If I'm correct in saying that's one of the battles on there. There's definitely an old side. I'll say this point now. I was going to save it for when we do it. We think of Checkpoint, and we think of Clips Tony D. We think, Soul C. We Soul and Raptor, even Shocks and Soul. We think even Calico and Raptor. That was a thing. Like we think of these things. I honestly think that this card would have got a bit of a, because be honest, there wasn't the best reaction when like I said, yourself and Madness and a few other battles had come out. I think if they said Blood in the Water 6, that we would have lost our mind. This would have been the greatest thing we've ever seen, because it's absolutely, in my heart, it's a Blood in the Water card. It's
The thing is, though, man.
Like there's some new guys in there too, but it in my heart, it's Blood in the Water, and that's why when I thought of that, it changed my whole perspective of the card. Because there was a part of me going, we used to get all these big names. I went, oh no, wait, if this is Blood in the Water, this is perfect. This is what we're needing. Change of pace.
You know what, man? I don't know about, like, I don't know how I completely feel about whether that's a negative thing though. Because for battle rap, I love the way it's going. I like the direction it's gone in, and I think it's found a different sort of. It is different to how it was back in the day, but I do remember when there was massive events in Leeds and there isn't anymore, and I do think that's down to the style change. I do think we're struggling to sell tickets because they're in the focus on the funny people anymore, and I think it might not be the case in London. I don't really know. I aren't going to battle events in London. I don't know how it goes, but I know that up north it ain't as popping as it was, and I do think if we focused a bit more on having a bit more variety, and I don't know if that's anyone's job, like any particular person's job, because you can only the promoters can only book the talent that they have, and maybe these people aren't encouraged to step up. And do you know what I mean? We don't have a lot of Sean Craze, bro. Like if we did, like it would be a different story. But I do think if I do think those crowds will come back, especially up north, if it goes back in that direction. And that's obviously that suits me perfect. So I'm gonna say that because that is my style. But also you can't deny the fact that the people, like, man, I meet these people in the street all the time who will never go to one of these battles that are serious, and they'll never fucking buy a ticket for a battle if the headliner isn't funny, bro. I know that for a fact because I meet these people in person. Do you get what I'm saying? And they have fallen out of love of it, and they do want that 2011 shit back. And whether that's dated to some people or whether it's like just, I don't know, people have this attitude where it almost cheapens what battle rap is, and I think if you're good enough, you should be able to please both sides, man. I don't, like Tony said about me the other day, that my shit gets like people overlook my skill because I'm funny, and that's obviously something I have to accept. But I think the right people like Tony D and the people who are hearing it from, I don't know, man, maybe it's only the battle rappers who look at it like that, or maybe it's only the people who are really into it.
You know what? Like, as I was about to say, as a question, as a headliner, did nerds take over UK battle rap? You know, like, where's the cool kids? You know, that want to hear jokes and shit. Because it's kind of one of those things where it's
mad because I don't think. God, sorry.
No, Luna, you described me. I was one of those that I needed it to be serious. I needed to feel the stakes. I needed to listen for bars. I love the aggression. I am a big proponent of that way back in the day. I as soon as 2014, 2015, and having the concept that URLs doing all this, King of the Dot has these serious matchups, even from like Holohan and Cortez in 2012, like I wanted that here. So I definitely, the nerds might have taken over UK battle rap and pushed out all the cool, funny guys that want to laugh.
Yeah. And
I'm calling myself that more than anything else. Like, we definitely, the style.
Nah, of course. And the battle fan in me also wants that. Me as a how I perform and what I want to happen to cater to me as a battle rapper isn't necessarily exactly what I want as a viewer, because I want both. I want people to, like, man, battle rap needs people like Tony D, it needs people like Shotty, Quill, it needs all these people, but I honestly think it needs Sean Cray and people like that as well. It does, and it needs an active O'Shea, and it needs that shit. Yeah. And up north, it's not even a question. Like, the proof is in the pudding, man. It needs that shit, bro. And I think that's a very, very British style that that is appreciated, especially up north.
Yeah, the cheeky style, the cheeky chappy.
I don't know if I'd call it that way. it makes sense, man. I can't be calling myself a cheeky chappy battle rapper. But yeah, you are right. You are right in the sense it is that British tongue-in-cheek fucking taking the piss type shit, man. But yeah, I look at it different because I compare it to how we were saying, like the old grind time shit. Like that was what made me really fall in love with it. And I was already into battle rap before that from Jump Off and stuff. But that was when I was like, nah, I identify with this shit. Like, I love it. It's doing something for me that I get from stand-up comedy, and it connected. It made me want to be a battle rapper. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, well, I've got before we do a little breakdown of the card. I know we've been here for quite a while. Anyway, I do have a few more questions. I have to ask: are you still close with Mata as like a friend? Like,
I get this a lot, man. I'll be honest, bro. I was never particularly close with Mata, which a lot of people are shocked to hear that. And Mata's cool. He's one of my, like, if I see him, we chill, and he's a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's fucking. But that all happened because he was just the only other West Yorkshire battle rapper, and he don't even live in my city. He lives in Leeds, but it's right next to Bradford, and it just seemed like the only semi-obvious. I just remember us having a conversation like, yo, we should do a fucking 2-on-2, and he was already kind of making waves in battle rap, and I was new and made a bit of a splash with my debut, so it just made sense, man. And yeah, we made a good team, and we only did 2 battles together, but yeah, we was never like, I think a lot of people presume that we was like best mates, but no, and that's like, he'll tell you the same, bro. It's not like I'm talking shit about him. We never was like.
You know, it's a great example of that thought that you guys are best friends is when the Premier Battles just came back and Soul versus Matter rematch. You happened to pick Matter, part of your team, and Soul had the back like it used to be. You're just that guy on Lunar's team.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That was
right,
in our
man.
heads. We all thought that when, oh my god, he's just back on Lunar C's team again. Like as if it was as if nothing had changed. So the reason why I ask that is apart from doing this, and at some point, I'm just going to throw a couple of names at you for thoughts on if you battle them or not. I thought, would you ever be back to doing a 2-on-2 if you are back to the culture?
P Soldier really wants us to do a 2-on-2, and I think that'd be amazing because P Soldier is my boy, and I think we have such a similar sense of humor. More in person than in battles, but I also do think it would work really well. And obviously, we have the same partner, so it like he did 2-on-2s with Matter, I did 2-on-2s with Matter, and he's my only battle rapper friend, like who is my friend. You get what I'm saying? So that would make sense. It would just take a matchup that would make sense, but that probably needs to happen at some point, man.
Because I'll be honest, I think if there's anyone that's going to book it, like I think is P Soldier on this card? I feel like he is.
He's not on the Dot Flop card, no.
He's not on the Dot Flop card. He's definitely back. He battled Caveman, and I think he's got something lined up soon.
Yeah, he's definitely in talks about doing stuff, and he's definitely back into it, man. So that is a possibility. If I do another 2-on-2, it's gonna be P's gonna be my guy. So yeah.
Okay, that's like, and maybe you get a cameo from Matter at some point, and the crowd goes crazy, like I did a cameo. That's half a round like that taken, but
that'd be great.
When you do battle, like obviously you have Matter, you have Madness, like I want to just throw some names out about your thoughts on battling them if you don't mind. There's only a few. I just wondered, like, I've said the name before, and this was who I thought you were going to battle. I just wondered what your thoughts were of Shuffle T.
Shuffle's amazing, man. And obviously, because, he's hilarious, and I get why people would think that, man. I think he's in a bracket, though, of people where I almost feel like it would be... I feel like I would need to really be active to battle someone like that. Like, there's a few of those names, man, where I just think it would almost be taking the piss a little bit to just be dipping my toe in and coming back and be like, I haven't focused on this for you.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're frozen.
Just dialed in, man. Dialed in on battle rap. Oh yeah, we're back.
Yeah, you froze on me there, and then you said dialed in. I'm a dial-up internet, you know?
Yeah. So I just think I would have to be fully focused on battle rap to be competing at that level. And obviously people ask me about Shotty still to this day, and it's the same answer, man. Those guys are all at a level where it's like, man, it's almost unfair to me to come in with so little, because even it might be a lot of years, but bro, I've only done about 7 battles. I don't know. Like, so I just think I could I don't think it's outside of my capabilities, but I would have to be not doing this ADHD hyper focus flitting from one thing to another. I'd have to be on this shit, bro, and battle rap would have to be my focus for a while before I considered something like that, to be honest, bro. And I'll be honest, not to fuck up the rest of your suggestions before you've even said them, I kind of feel like that towards most the UK heads who I get offered and who are spoken about. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you've been offered more UK names then?
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a few, bro, and a few of them make sense, and
yeah,
I'm not against it. And maybe when I have had a couple more, see, I am looking at it like I love the fact that I can battle these American guys, and man, they get flown over here, so I can battle them, and I get to be like almost a part of what they're doing over there, and doing that, and I love that, and it's a big spectacle because it's such a weird like style clash as well to battle some of these people, and like I say, my fans love the battles when I'm battling someone like Uno and stuff, and man, I'd be more likely to do a rematch with Uno than I would to battle most of these people, bro. Like. Wow. Yeah, that's been spoken about a little bit as well. But well, man, this honestly, I've taken my ego out of this, and bro, if you go talk to any of these promoters and ask who I was trying to battle a year ago, I was talking about some ridiculous match. Like, bro, I wanted to battle fucking Rum Nitty at one point. Wow. And I don't. But and like more recently, obviously, there's a big jump from Rum Nitty to. I'm not even going to single anyone out and disrespect them. But
that's fair. Like, let's say Shuffle T because I mentioned his name.
Yeah, or just someone who's known as funny or whatever, like these ridiculous matchups. But then I was like, okay, somewhere in the middle, I was talking about battling Bill Collector, who I think is
a very good match.
Equally as dangerous. Like Bill Collector is pretty much unbeatable in most circumstances. He's just such an overbearing performer. That's why he won that tournament in King of the Dot. Like, I definitely know that that's not something to be taken lightly, but I also think that would make a lot more sense than the Rum Nitty battle. I think that would be too much a style clash.
You mean loaded Lux to Lunar C? You know that's
you know like I'm not thinking about that now. I was just trying to I was trying to. It was my ego, man, and I don't actually think anybody's even wanting that from me. I need to battle some, and also from a writing point of view, I want someone weird and interesting who I can write about and take the piss out of. Like, bro, I'll be honest, the two people who, maybe three, who I think are great and who fascinate me and who I watch the most, who I think would be good matchups for me, is Mew Lips, fucking Mac Myron and O Solo.
Mac Myron is on my fucking list.
Yeah, Mac Myron. Incredible.
Get my shitty little iPod thing. I have a whole fucking question just in case. Can I zoom in? Fucking, can you see it? Can you see him?
Mac Myron, man.
I had Mac. I just thought that was one that was maybe I'd seen that you'd reacted to something from him. I had that in the back of my head saying that's something that he must be interested in.
But they're the only three people outside of the UK who I actually am like excited. Now that's bullshit because like there's the obvious ones, like, there's the obvious people like Thesaurus who I've been a fan of since fucking Jump Off, and there's loads of people who I still check for. Big K, obviously, I watch Big K battle. Bill Collector, Rum Nitty, all these people. But the people who I'm watching them and being like, wow, me battling this person would be so funny. It is Mew Lips, Mac Myron, and who did I say? Yeah, Solo. Solo's my fucking favorite, bro. And
Solo is so good.
I recommended this to a promoter who I won't name because they didn't have a good reaction to it as an idea, and then a month later, Solo went viral and everyone looked, and then I messaged that promoter. I was like, see, did you see what I was trying to do?
Your guns don't shoot. I wish I would take my bitch to the Cheesecake Factory when Ness got a cheesecake stand. Bruises need bandages. Jaws need dolls. Bitches get stitches if your dogs get involved. Quick question. What kind of dressing you like on your knuckle sandwich? I loaned your people some money, had to hit your crib up with the loan shark. Caught your auntie on the couch with a plastic spoon eating a box of cornstarch. Watching General Hospital letting out these long farts.
Now I fully get it now. And now they understand it because that excites me so much more, man, because my fans will fucking love O Solo, and they'll find it so interesting. And this sort of competitiveness doesn't interest me as much. Like I am not trying to be the best battle rapper in the world, and I don't actually think I'm ever gonna outdo what I did when I was actually trying to do that. I'm just doing side quests and pleasing the people who've changed my life and fucking who I feel I owe something back to, and trying to keep in line with what my brand is, bro. And man, Mulips, I was supposed to battle Mulips in April in New York, but he fucking came over here and battled Graza. And that was in April. I haven't
seen the battle yet. Did you see the battle yet?
Nah, not yet, man. Because I was butthurt about that shit, man. I was fucking. I spoke to Graza as well, and he was like, "I'm gonna say in my battle that I'm the reason that you had to go back to Don't Flop and all this shit." I was like, "Mate, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna do that anyway, but you did cost me a trip to New York, which you are a cunt for." But like, fair play to him, man. He got in there first.
See that. Like between if you're going like there and thinking like I battle for like Mulips and whatnot, whether there's a lot of people. I could have seen you in an E Farrell, honestly. Like that's not
Farrell's amazing, bro. That would make sense, yeah. Because he's got that as well, where it's like he's so funny, but he's got bars, bro. Like he's got he's got some crazy bars. So that's and he's a cool guy as well. Like I know he rates me too, so that could work.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Mulips is my guy, man. I need to battle Mulips.
You know what, and I think there's a part of it as well. And again, I don't mean to be. It sounds like I'm probably been glazed in this whole interview for yourself, but it's like you are Lunar C. You ask, you probably could get. Like I don't think Mark Myron's out of a question. I don't think Mulips is out of a question. E Farrell, like anyone that you ask, that should be taken seriously. O Solo, I get why they didn't have it at the time, but how O Solo's become viral now in the last 4 or 5 months, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Sure. Like, I think people get it, and it is just these are the people I watch as well. Like it's not like I'm trying to not like I'm trying to avoid competition. It's like I really don't see it. Like these are the people who I find like polarizing characters who are really entertaining, bro. And that to me is a lot more valuable in terms of just doing something that's gonna be entertaining for my fans. You know what I'm saying? And I love that shit. I want it to be a fucking circus. I want the characters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone has a different journey. Everyone has, like, for you, as you're saying, you're going on this side quest of people that you appreciate. I think it would look awkward if they gave you a twerk. It'd be great, but it would look awkward because it's not what you do, and what he does, and
like all the people who would think I won against a twerk or someone, are people who like just don't really care about what battle rap. It's just we're trying to. You can't please everybody in one sort of thing, and maybe there will be a time where I'm like, nah, do you know what I do want to battle just a bar heavy guy, and I've warmed up enough where I can adapt to that. And there's battlers who can do that, and they can turn their hand to different styles and adjust, and that's fucking sick. And maybe that will happen, but right now, I think what's gonna ease me into even wanting to do this shit more than once or again after this madness battle is those kind of matchups, man.
Yeah, I think Mark Myron would be the perfect balance between you looking for a puncher and having fun while doing it. I think that is literally a perfect match. And for you, and one thing, like I said, before we go have a look through this card, you before this was a style for you, but this you always had this, and it's a term like being able to diffuse something. Yeah. So you hit it with the jokes and whatnot, and it makes them look stupid. So when they rap, they look stupid. You almost were like an innovator of a style that only became known years later.
Yeah, man. I always try to look at it like I want to make the crowd feel whack for even ever rating this person. Yeah. I want that. That was kind of the aim, but. In terms of those bunch of people, I do think Bill Collector is like the final level boss of that style.
Your style, I would agree. Like I think you could probably get like your Lux Mooks, Tay-Rocks, people if you asked for it and the right person came with the bag. But for you and what you're telling me, a Bill Collector, maybe even a Madflex, kind of that sort of, that's a great area for you to, that could be your stomping ground area to be taking out these guys. I think that's a great spot for you. And even your tier battle rap, Bill Collectors, Madflex, Mark Myron's, the skill level, obviously UK battle rap is maybe a tier below US battle rap just off of views and all the other shit. But your spot, that's an amazing spot for you. To take out a few of them and promote your music while doing it is a great look, especially with YouTube drops.
That's it, man. And I think it's really cool to have your own lane in this shit, bro. It makes it interesting, makes it more varied for the casual fans and for the fans who have been getting a lot of the same shit for a long time. And I think Lefty is a fucking Lefty versus Uno Lavos was such a breath of fresh air to me, bro. And there was so many your mum jokes in that battle, and not, it didn't feel, that shit don't feel dated to me, bro. That shit's timeless to me. I still want people roast each other and say ridiculous things to each other, bro. Like, your fucking mum eats the pizza crust first. Like, that's British battle rap needs that, bro. And Lefty's so unbothered by getting a pat on the back from other battle rappers that he's perfect for that shit, bro. And it honestly does need that, bro. And that is not taken away from what Bizzo Bond does or what Koj does, bro. Like, they're competing at a very high, serious level. They're trying to outbar each other, and it's amazing. But we need that stupid shit back, man. We need to, like, we just do. In my opinion, we do anyway. Maybe there's people who disagree with that and they think it good riddance to that style and that we've evolved past it. But I really don't.
There's a level of me as like as a fan, as I'm watching, like I'm pretty quick to getting like all these complex bars, like Tony D and Bizzle Bond, for example, like pyramids. I'm very quick to get all of that. When I did a recap of Lefty versus Uno Lavos, and it's like I didn't get it because I watched it and went, what the fuck's Lefty doing? Because I'm in my battle rap head and I'm waiting for Quill and Gemini. And not until it drops on YouTube can I be like, and not that I'm not giving a recap, pressure's off, just watch it. And it is a lot more enjoyable than I gave it credit for. I just said, it's a battle. Why has he got his the tape deck and why is he playing music? It's a battle rap. And
yeah, but
I was in my own head. And it's nowadays, I'm just not getting that. So I hearing you say that, it's like, it's almost the opposite for me, but you're right. You know, like we do need that comedy back in the little bit of fresh air. Nothing, it can be going to all these events. I love it personally, but I know that a lot of people are going to be like, fuck going to these events where there's no fun and it's all intense.
This is it,
Any chance the battle's ruined.
Who are you going to take to them? Like, I don't know. I nerd out on bars. Like, I've just been watching Taurus versus Tony D today, losing my mind in my kitchen. But none of my friends give a fuck about bars, bro. No. So, like, who would I even bring to a rap battle without? And back in the day when I was bringing people to battles, they were fucking loving it because there was like they did have these characters, and obviously you can't. We are a small fucking subgenre of something where we do have to look after and value what we are and not compromise too much for casuals. I fully understand that, man. We need both sides. That's all I think, man. I think we do need both sides, man.
Absolutely. It's finding the balance is so hard because I don't know about yourself. Like I'm 29 now. I watched battle rap when I was 13, so I kind of naturally felt like I was growing as an adult with the culture.
Right.
So like 16, there was this is my humor. 17, it seemed to just track all the way up, and now I'm almost 30, and this battle rap is like super mature. They're organizing events. There's different ways of getting money. It fits to my age.
Yeah,
with battle rap, but I do like a fucking. That sounds crazy. I love a joke, but you know what I mean. Like I do love that, and you miss that a little bit when you get old and life happens, and you miss the moments to have a joke and shit. So we've kind of done that with battle rap too. We maybe like Don't Flop does a good job in trying to have the comedy roasts and all these other things. Don't Flop needs to really hit hard on the TikTok generation because These
100%.
60 seconds for a funny joke, and Anderson Burris would be very interesting for you to battle, actually.
Nah, yeah, he would, but he's
'cause
also
he is social media savvy.
yeah, he's great. He's great.
And
Nah, yeah, him, yeah. Do you know what, man? I just think, just going back to that point, I think people underestimate how difficult it is to battle people who can hold the crowd and make the whole room laugh at you as well, bro. When I battled Uno and he had the whole, did he have everyone clicking or clapping?
Yes, he did.
Like,
the third round. And,
like, bro, that I was stood there like, how this is so outside of the box and enjoyable for everyone in the room. That how do you even follow this? Like, how do you beat this round? This is fucking insane. And it takes those fucking crazy people like characters to do that shit, and there is something to be said for that as well, man. Like, bro, if he did that against a deadly serious battler, it would completely diffuse it and disarm him, like you were saying before.
Absolutely.
Like, man, it's a tactic in itself, man.
Solo is a king of that shit. I remember like the battle got taken down, but there was a big thing that Sirius Jones used to go over and win every battle because it's just people didn't prepare for him.
He killed
Solo. Then he battled Solo. I know, Sirius Jones, fucking, honestly, he's a terrible guy. But he battled Solo, and Solo had all my dogs prepared Scooby-Doo, and then that was it.
Yeah.
My dogs
your mom's got nowhere to live, and because your mom's got nowhere to live, and you stay with her. The delivery on that bar made me fall in love with battle rap all over again. I was like, this is what I love about battle rap. Like, that's unbeatable, and it is a lot in the delivery as well, and just being a character. Like, he can do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think he would be an amazing matchup for me. I met him out in Cali as well at the last event.
Yeah.
He's a
so when you spoke to him then, because I was about to say, I wonder if Solo is aware that your power in the UK, and that if you actually want to battle him, someone will make it happen.
Bro, I ain't gonna say too much, but it's very, very possible, man. It's it could happen, and and he knows, and he's been in talks, man. But there's no plan in place, I personally don't know if I'll even do another battle this year. Like, I have a lot of other shit. I need to get back on some comedy shit. I've got an album to make. That I've got like shit that I want to do, man. It's kind of hard to juggle it and still give battle rap the attention it deserves. But I want to make that happen, man. I definitely want to make that happen.
So I do want to ask this, and I briefly touched on it. And you can just give me even a number out of 10. I know it's a little random before we talk about just the checkpoint card, and I'll let you be. And I really appreciate all your time so far. It's been amazing. Like, out of 10, if in 2025, let's say, what is the likelihood of you and Shotty Horror battling? Just for the meme, what's the likelihood?
It's booked, man. For the meme, Shotty is definitely very high on that list of. If I would have to be active before I did that, man. And
so, like, if they offered that to you, what number what's the likelihood of you taking it?
Right now, not very likely.
Okay, so
yeah,
so we're looking at
I am very
most, but
it's hard for me to think past this
madness battle and stuff.
Well, not even that. Like, just the vibe I'm going for and the lane and those names I mentioned.
Yeah,
there's a lot to do in that lane where I feel is where I would thrive. I think that is kind of better for me than doing those kind of battles. And obviously, that's not saying that the Shotty battle wouldn't be massive, but also the Shotty battle is almost set up.
It's kind of past its date, but I bring it up as a meme because it's like,
you have to ask, man, or someone of it.
But it is past its date. But I still think we're closer to getting that battle now between yourself and Shotty than we ever have been. So I had to ask the question specifically on its own.
No, and it's not completely off the cards forever, bro. But I personally don't see. I mean, hype-wise, yeah. If a flyer came out tomorrow and it said Lunar C versus Shotty, I'm sure that it would pop off and go crazy. But in reality, the actual battle...
It's a style clash that I don't know how... Depending on how Madness goes and how these other battles, like before, a style clash that... we want Shotty to do the aggressive shit.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously, Shotty's not a one-dimensional battler either. He can lean into different. He can do some funny shit, and we can. But I'm not saying our styles are a million miles apart. It's just the other thing is as well, man. It's just been overhyped for so long, where it's difficult to imagine it not being an anticlimax to me.
The fun's been sucked out of it. Pause.
Oh, it has, man, and it's been. It's just been. It's not something that I would have take away the hype and the people talking about it for so long, and it wouldn't have even occurred to me as a matchup. Do you get what I'm saying? There's so many people who would be better for him to battle, and so many.
For sure. Like it's still the Tay-Rocks in the world. That obviously that might not happen, but like there's still all these other battles to take first, the Gemini, Quills, and things like that. It has such a history with yourself and him that it maybe if you do all the other battles, that's the ride off to the sunset. That's you've done everything the fans have ever asked of you.
That's it, man. Me and Shotty are gonna battle on Zimmer frames one day, man. It's never happen. But...
He's on a wheelchair. You've got a walking stick or something. Yeah, it's gonna be like Professor X and Magneto, just all over again.
Yeah. It's gonna be way overdue, and no one's going to be interested. There'll be like 20 people online who do
money grab. That's what that is. That's a money grab if some sort of TV show wants to pick it up.
Yeah, man. And yeah.
I'm a bad boy from Bradford, like Chiller Crew. You'll get put in a boot if you push me. Don't talk shit on your tunes, cause when I see you, you'll say it's just music and spot me. Hopping up, blowing your money on clothes and jewelry, and still not getting no pussy. Been tight since I spat on a beat this tempo, but I still don't sound rusty. If I don't send back your escape death, I move like the SAS. Put your hands up if you're into that.
I've got the card in front of me. I got this shitty little tablet, and fuck me, has it just saved my life. And just having notes for different things, like for videos and shit. I do have the card in front of me. Do you mind if I have another 10 minutes of your time just to
That's all good, man.
On cards and shit?
For sure, bro.
You're the man. So like I said, checkpoint 5. But really, to me, it is blood in the water. But I see into the way it is. It's a very Don't Flop card, and as we said, Don't Flop has such a character to it that this is definitely that character coming through. So let me ask then about the rematch of Enigma versus Bonnie Godiva. I don't know if you want me to start or if you want to shoot the shot or whatever.
Nah, you go, man. You go.
Right. I'm so confused on this battle. I know it was meant to happen, and it was 8 years ago, and I just wonder if the demand was so high to have it back. Maybe Enigma could have done another battle first and then got Bonnie, but I mean, I think Enigma's kind of got a bit of a hit a lick kind of to get into internationals straight away if he's back in battle rap. But I actually do have him winning because I think in the UK we're not going to have the ghostwriting angles too strong.
Yeah, I 100% think that Enigma will win. I think it's going to be very, very misogynistic and aggressive and all the way that you would expect from Enigma, and a lot of shock factor, which is what people love Enigma for. I think it's going to be a fucking massive task for Bonnie to be able to outdo that in terms of, just making a statement against someone who's doing that, and for it to be as effective as what Enigma's do, because Enigma's gonna go there, bro. I remember back in the day where we all said things that we probably wouldn't say now and pushed the envelope in terms of shock factor and stuff, and we was all looking at Enigma like, this guy doesn't give a fuck.
He's going. He was a bad man back in the day.
Yeah,
he was a bad man.
He was saying
he's not quite say the N-word on a big stage, but he was a bad man,
he said some crazy shit, and that's like I say, that's his style, man. That is style, bro. So I'll be disappointed if he don't do that. And I just can't actually. I'm not saying Bonnie Godiva, because Bonnie Godiva's a good performer as well, and she can hold a crowd. And I think Americans are very well received over here, and we appreciate that shit. And she's battled some big people, and she's very active, which Enigma isn't. So she has the upper hand in that sense, but I don't know if that's going to cut it against someone who will go there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not saying she won't go there. I can't imagine what she can or what she will do or say.
Bonnie Godiva's kind of goes punch for punch. How is she going to diffuse the ghostwriting misogyny?
Exactly. Yeah.
How is she going to diffuse? Like, so another one then. Now there is a bit of a tournament going on. I'm maybe you're aware, maybe you're not. It's been like it's to get the title shot versus Gemini essentially, because Gemini, if it's not Shotty Horror or Visible or anyone that's top tier that isn't connected to Premier Battles or whatnot, like it's Gemini doesn't have many people to battle, so they've made a tournament for him, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
So Gas Buff versus Crow. Now Gas Buff is kind of similar to you Gas Buff, I'd be confident to say, is a mixture of yourself and Shuffle T. Like not quite not quite the whole Shuffle T rhyming dictionary. He's a little more casual than that, but there's definitely a performance thing that comes with him. I just wondered what your thoughts were. Like me, I like Crow, and I think Crow is super underrated almost all the time.
Yeah.
And I've just got a feeling that Crow might take it.
Right.
Because Trubs, when he battled him, if you've seen that battle, was a very good battle, and I think Crow just edged it. And Trubs is a tactician as a battle rapper.
Yeah.
He's one of those that takes it super serious. So for Crow to take him on and do what he done, make it very close, I'd have to look at Gas Buff and say probably does something similar in a different fashion.
Right, yeah, I kind of agree, but I'm leaning towards Gast because I've seen more of Gast Buff, and I have only recently had Crow on my radar, and I was really impressed, and I think he's great, but I haven't delved into his shit enough to. Yeah, I just haven't seen enough, and that's my fault. But
I will say this: Crow broke my heart. He my favorite battle rapper. Like I'm totally fine with saying this. I have one favorite battle rapper, just as a style and everything. Have you ever seen Emerson Kennedy?
Yeah, he's the American geezer. Yeah.
Like I like his style. I like the cadence of his style. I like the messages. A lot of times it can be political. It can be. I don't even always agree with it, but I like that he tries that and pushes a lot of things you sit and think about. I like. But Crow beat the dog shit out of him. He came to the UK and beat the dog shit out of him, and I remember just being so mad. I just and Emerson Kennedy, unfortunately, was supposed to battle Moke. I went to that event thinking, I'll go see that Moke. No, he didn't even make it to that event, so he's in the bad books for me now. So
yeah,
but I always give Crow the credit because the way he dealt with Emerson Kennedy was like, oh man, and I'll never forget that. So
I need to go check that one.
It is a thought. Gassed Buff, it's also a don't flop crowd. Okay, Crow did well, but if we've got yourself on the card in this type of caliber of battles, Gassed Buff might have an advantage here.
In the room,
I will say Gassed Buff is slightly more lighthearted than Crow is.
Yeah, in the room, possibly, man. But as I've learned the hard way, or whichever way you look at it, whether it's a good or bad thing, it's crazy how different it can be in the room, man. Like if you get the right crowd, they can gas shit that don't deserve it, or they can take to something more just because it's in the room, or it can, I don't know, man. It's a difficult one, but I don't know. It's a weird one because I think Gas Buff is an amazing performer though, and he always does something like I don't know. I feel like he's just getting better as well, and I rate him.
Between him and Maverick, I'm sure you probably know who Maverick is.
Yeah, he battled Visual.
Yeah, annoyingly good. Like Maverick is a real good friend of mine, and I think Maverick's got he's got Dunch in Ireland. Like Maverick's someone I knew before battle rap, and Like Dunch, he's got big battles coming up at the end of the year, and it makes me sick because he fucks off for 5 years, similar to you, Lunar, except without the views, and comes back and he just gets all the big battles. I went, fuck it, like earn something, you know what I mean? Don't just come back here and get your internationals. And you had to leave. Everyone had to gain hype for you to return and pull you back. He just walked in the shit and went, "I'll take the fucking champagne." Like what?
Yeah.
Fuck Maverick, honestly, he's a prick, but I love him. He's a prick. So, Canel versus Moke. I don't know if you know much on Moke. I know Moke's kind of flew under the radar a little bit.
I've only seen Moke when he battled Tony D, bro, and
Right.
yeah, I'm picking Canel for that one.
With the Dole crowd, I will too.
Yeah, and I actually think Canel is fucking amazing. He's some of his rhyme schemes are fucking great, and I think he's slept on a little bit. But I think he, when he's on his A game, he's really fucking good. And Moke's another one who I can't really judge just off one battle. It's my fault for being out of touch with battle rap. But from what I've seen, if I had to make a guess just purely based on what I've seen, I would say Canel, man.
Yeah, and you know what, Canel. Funny that Canel has offered me a battle. He's like, I want to battle you, and I went absolutely fucking not. Because he tried to sell me, oh yeah, I'm shy, I will be able to do it. Then I always go back to his third round versus LSD and the what was his name? The Pete Cashmore. Like that angle. And I'm like, I cannot have someone talk to me the way that Canel talked to LSD in that battle. Fuck no. He's trying to pry me at that. But he's especially in this crowd. I would tell you that if the battle for you to check, Moke versus Georgie Roots, that battle put him on the map.
Right. Because they really gas you up, saying you've got the maddest pen, but ain't no one in here backing Root Source. This ain't Dragon's Den. I'm a spoken word artist. A battle rapper is not my title. They done gave George the poet. I guess your idols become your rivals. I've got bars. I've got bars that I keep on deck, keep my feet on necks with no gun bars. That's why I receive respect. Fuck a vaccine, my jabs are immune to these brothers, no matter how sick they think they are. And that's exactly why I don't have to be on text. I'm not a wordsmith, I'm a wordsmith and Wesson. No need to draw for the weapon, to draw for attention, think hairdressers. I'ma make sure you die, Roots, before the extension. Finish me, boy, you'll finish who? I'm the one they want to listen to. These words finna pierce like a dagger, and I plan to let it sit in you. And that shit won't be able to leave Roots like the girl with the gorilla glue.
It's damn near a UK classic, to be honest. I don't throw that term lightly. It was just one of those that was like bar for bar. It was intense. It was like, because Moke's actually a poet. Like, he has that background. And so he knew what he was doing as soon as he came in.
Right.
It's an amazing, but in this Don't Flop crowd, you can't usually go against a veteran like Canel. And Moke has just battled Tech, another nose chat guy, like last week, if not a couple of days ago. So I would agree with you there. This next one's gonna be where the hot take comes into it. I think Visual might kick the shit out of Villain.
Yeah. I think if you go from recent times and look at both of their performances in their last few battles, I think you would have to lean towards Visual. But that isn't to say that Villain's not capable of getting back on his shit and proving everyone wrong, man. For sure, he's definitely capable of that. And I hope that's his intention. And I hope he pulls it off. But Villain. I imagine a lot of people are leaning towards Villain because of how just he's on it, man. The guy's not slacking. He's taking a lot of battles and he's showing up and he's winning them. So yeah,
he's got Shocks, the Rebel. He just had a nose come into it. Like, Visual is just battle tested at this point, and Villain used to be battle tested, and then I don't know, his weapon got blunt and he just stopped. He just fell into self-destruct mode in a lot of battles, and I'll never get over him supposed to battle and then the Instagram story of Villain nutmegging a police officer.
And drinking cocktails and some shit.
Shrimps. There were shrimps in the street of London somehow.
But he was
London's
supposed
a
to be
wild place.
bedridden and ill.
Like, bro, I can't believe it. I'll never get over that. But again, A1 villain is so dangerous, but I just don't see it. And Visual has just got all the potential in the future to move forward. And he's still young. He's still got all these other guys to face, even though he's already faced a bunch of people. There's still more for him. And I want Villain to do well. I just can't see it. I just can't see it.
I mean, I think you cannot. It's not even really judging him on his last performance. It's kind of judging him on his last few. So I think Villain will be expecting to be the underdog in this, and I hope that's what's driving him, and I hope that's what makes him pull it out the bag, man.
So I'll tell you my little Villain story. I remember arguing with Villain. I argued with Villain because he actually had Briz Rothstein in a one rounder in the UK.
Okay.
And this was at Apex 1, and I'm sure I've actually got the flyer somewhere. I think iKid was handing out flyers for this event because he had like Saga, it was Soul versus Tally, it was all one rounders and stuff, but it was just before Briz and T-Top and the punch happened.
Yeah.
I had Villain screaming in my face, "I will destroy Briz," and I'm like, "No, you're not." You will not destroy him. He's like taking off his glasses. Obviously, he's 4'5", and we're like in the smoking area. And I just don't know why. I just dug my heels in. He is shouting, and it gave him a hope.
Yeah,
I've just not felt that hope from since.
Right? Yeah, man. It's one of those, man. I don't think you should be doing it until you get the hunger back, man. It's one of those things, like you can't just be going through the motions because the other person's trying to take your head off more times.
Do private battles, battle your friends, do that way, and then practice. I know,
practice, man. That's it. Like, go back to the drawing board, come back knowing that you can do yourself justice.
I want to ask at least then, I feel like you might not know all of these names, so I'm just just a few of these guys that I'm seeing. It's the 2-on-2s, and even the relatively new, a lot of these guys. So, I don't know what your thoughts were on like Dojo, like he's a new guy up and coming, like he's on a 2-on-2 on this event. Really, the 2-on-2s, like Razren Frequent Thought versus Dojo and actually, no, I'm chatting bare shit, my apology. It is Dojo versus Shotty B. Do you know any of these guys?
I know Shotty B. I know of Dojo, just from Twitter and that, but I don't think I've seen him battle. I've seen a clip of him on Twitter, but I don't really know enough about him to even judge him as a battler, to be honest. Shotty B really funny. I like Shotty B.
Yes.
I think he's good. But it would although I've already lent towards people because I've seen more of them in this video, I haven't seen really anything from Dojo, so it'd be unfair for me to lean towards Shotty B, although I have been impressed by what I've seen from him, and I do look forward to seeing that shit, man.
Yeah, I think I would say like Shotty B, again, has a comedic style to him. I would say that Dojo is a student of the game.
Right.
All pun intended with his actual name, but like he is a genuine student of the game, like, and he is forever learning. So I think it's only a matter of time until Dojo just runs through half the roster. Like he is winning battles, and he had a big promo thing where it was like, and this seems so little, like in comparison to like yourself and a few others, but him in a battle were putting £300 each to build hype for their battle. Like actual money prizes and shit like that. Not many people are doing. So
that's sick. That you used to hear about that now and again, man. People betting on themselves and putting money up and shit. You don't really hear about that anymore. So that's cool, man. It makes it exciting, man.
So he was actively doing that and winning off money. So I would say Dojo would win personally. I don't know yourself. I guess maybe Shotty B, but it's like we don't really know all the ins and outs.
I can't even say that, bro. I honestly, like, it'd be unfair.
See me trying to get an answer there.
Yeah. Like, obviously, from what if I was gonna go off what I've seen, it'd be Shotty B. But that'd be ridiculous because I haven't seen Dojo. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I would say a Razren. He's quite irregular and don't flop, isn't he?
I haven't really seen anything from Razren, bro. I don't know. I've heard the name because I was in a I was in a Twitter space with and a few other people talking about the event the other day, and I think he was in it. But same with frequent thought. I don't. I think I've slept on him too, bro. I don't know a lot of these people, man.
I'm the same with frequent thought. I've definitely slept on him. And Raz Ren is actually pretty good. I tell you what. See, one day if you ever are like, if they do organize it, the battle rap events in my home city of Dundee. Oh, that's old school. Don't flop to hell.
Sick.
It is old. It's old school. Don't flop because all they're wanting here is a laugh. That's all they're wanting. And there was one point in one battle, like before I get back to Raz Ren, is this guy had an angle that his dad, like his opponent, had said that his own dad was a pedophile, right? And then what he does is he points at his dad in the back, the opponent, and said, "That's my dad. He is like he's not really, but he's played into that." And I'm sure the camera looks at the dad going like this. What the fuck?
That is hilarious.
Scottish battle rap. Scottish battle rap in itself is just a fucking wild place. Like it is here's another little story. Sorry, I'm getting distracted now, but I have to tell you this because you put your thought on it. There's this battle. I did a reaction of it where it's Kamikaze, this guy, versus this guy Subconscious in the third round because Kamikaze goes, "Oh, I'm battling my own subconscious." He brings out his own mother. His own mother walks to the ring. Now, they're rapping in a park in grass. His own mother slips on the grass. So the crowd pick her up, and then they put her, and like shove her in his opponent's face, and then Kamikaze, like Kamehameha, not Kamikaze, Kamehameha, he turns his own mum around to face himself, and I'm going to do your mum jokes on my mum.
I love it. I need to watch more Scottish battle rap.
It's like, what is it? Like you say that you're 40 and flirty, and it was just the poor thing with like Edna Meaden from The Incredibles with grey hair, and she's just a little tawty thing going, "What the hell's going on?" I will send you the link to that battle. Please watch it.
Do. Scottish battle rap sounds amazing, man. This is what I'm saying about like being northern though, because Scotland is like ultra northern. Like you're past northern, so like we're not even northerners to you guys. You don't even class us as northerners.
No, like you're the middle. You're the middle. Yeah. They're the southerners.
So yeah, I imagine that is the case, man. I love that.
Oh, I love it. So there is that 2-on-2, Tricky and Blix versus Beat, Broaden, and Jeeves. I've no idea personally. I just thought I'd shout them out. But they'll be fine, no doubt. And then it leaves just a few battles left. Pedro versus Nils Skills.
I forgot about this. It's been so long since I've seen Nils Skills that I can't. I need to go back and revisit some shit. But I am gonna lean towards Pedro, man. 100%.
Yeah, Pedro is just like, especially the energy of Pedro, like, and I wonder what a mature Pedro's like. Pedro battled Slim Buck who's from Ghana, I think. Ghana, Nigeria. Them two have like them countries rap battle each other quite a lot.
Right.
And so like Slim Buck is kind of like the face of UK battle rap right now. He's crazy. I would check him out too. But I think Pedro took a bit more of a mature response, even though sticking with Pedro. So I wonder if he'll continue that versus Nils with Skills. I wonder if he'll do the same as you and tweak his style to a 2024 battle rap. You know what I mean? Like it's so interesting to see like how he's changing in his style bit by bit. But the high energy is going to be too much for Nils because Nils, I like Nils, but he was like Ogmios but slowed down more.
Yeah, I do remember that about him. To be honest, he wasn't very energetic or like it wasn't very performance driven. And yeah, I think anybody going up against Pedro after not being active for so long, with Pedro having so much energy and likability, and it's gonna be a fucking struggle, man. It's a big ask of anyone, to be honest. So I think someone who's especially sort of subdued and not very in your face is going to struggle with Pedro for sure, man.
They've got to have an amazing angle to write around it, or like super prepare to be like, right, I know he's going to be like this. This is what I'll say to lead into it.
Exactly, and to diss him for being the thing, you have to turn that into a negative in some way, man. You have to. That has to be your angle in a sense. So maybe he'll pull it off, man. But I would definitely lean towards Pedro. Pedro's my guy too. So
Pedro's great. Chill I love going to an event and chilling with him and the Brixton Spoons after an event. It's great fun.
Yeah,
I feed him alcohol and he just fills up. He's not a good wingman though. That I will tell you. He's not a good wingman at all.
He's the funniest person in the world, bro. I was with him in Cali because obviously we both battled in Cali, and I just spent a lot of the time with Pedro. I stayed there a little bit longer than him, but while he was there, we like took him over to San Francisco, and we got like took him to where we were staying, and he got a room there as well. And man, we had some fucking laughs. He was like, he can't take Pedro anywhere and expect him not to. Pedro, like he's walking into the shop. We're inside. He's just picking shit up and going, "Yo, boss, is this a quid?" He's like, bro, he's just fucking hilarious, bro. Like we was in a bar. This is a funny story that probably isn't going to be funny. You would kind of have to be there, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Yeah, of course. Hit me with it.
We was at a bar and I was like smoking Cali weed and I was so high, like just after the battle. It was after the battle and I had nothing left to worry about or to be on point. We was all just drinking, smoking at this bar. Me, my boy, and Pedro, and there was a group of girls.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I have to be careful about this actually, but there was a person with the group of girls who we wasn't quite sure whether there was one of the girls or not. So
the strong friend.
One of these girls has come and asked us for like they just come over and try to talk to us, and I think they were just heard our accents, and we honestly just flopped it. Like all three of us, like just gibbered. It was like and she walked away, and all three. I just turned around and said, "Yo, all three of us are pussies," you know. Like she was trying to talk to us. And, like, I was so high, I just flopped it. So she's gone back over to her group of friends. Yeah. Pedro hadn't even noticed the group. He just saw the one girl come over. I've looked at the group of friends, and as I'm processing that, I'm looking at this person like, oh, is that a girl or is that not a girl? As I'm thinking this in my head, Pedro's turned around to me and gone, yo, is that 3 and a brer? the timing of it and the wording, it was like, yo, is that 3 and a brer? Because I was already processing that in my own mind, the way that he worded it was so funny. And like for the rest of the trip, it's all I said. Every time I thought of it, I was just in tears. I was like, that's like mine and Pedro's little catchphrase that we say.
That needs to be a tagline, something. 3 and a brer. That is.
Yo, is that 3 and a brer?
Oh, no.
In his accent as well, it was so perfect, man. It was funny as fuck.
Without talking too much about what happened with Marcel and Pedro at the Brixton, he just started slagging the girls off. Like, you're not even that tidy anyway. Like what you did, like someone had said so. It's like I'm sure he made like a flat chest comment. I'm like, Pedro, stop it.
He's so funny, man. He's funny, man. He's reckless as fuck, but he's funny.
He's the best. Right, last two battles then we do have is Lefty and Pamphlet.
Yeah. I'm going to go with my boy, man. Lefty's my boy. Pamphlet, I think that's good that he's back. I think it'd be really interesting to see where he goes with it, whether he just picks up where he left off and he's just the same vintage Pamphlet that
of course,
that was definitely unique and different enough to I'm sure that'll be received well if he does that. If he comes back and he's even better, that'd be fucking amazing to see. I think it'd be interesting, but Lefty's like one of my favorites, so you're not gonna find many people who I would pick over Lefty, to be honest.
I'd agree with that. I think Lefty be just a little more modern. I think Pamphlet did have a battle versus Joy France as a return. I think that might have happened. It might not have. It might got cancelled.
All right.
But I think now I will say Lefty will win, and I feel like I'm going to have Tom Quee, Battle Rap Resume, crying in my ear. I love the boy, but he's a big Pamphlet fan.
Right.
Like, and when we did our Battle of the Year list, like a Battle of the Year, I don't know if you've seen the top 50 list. You know that.
Yeah, I
was going
did,
around
man. I
for a while.
watched it. Yeah.
That was me and him, right? And he thought I could hear his heart break when I said that Pamphlet was just 40 of like greatest of all time. I felt so bad because I knew how much he loved them.
Yeah.
But he's probably going to be annoyed that I'm saying that Lefty will win, but this is just because modern style, the crowd that we're Lefty, maybe now Lefty's more integral and don't flop than Pamphlet is because Pamphlet's been away for so long.
100%.
You know,
that goes without saying, man. Like Lefty and the battle with Uno in particular just really showed me that I'm right about what I'm been saying about battle rap, and we do need that style, and it's such a separate thing from how battle rap has evolved to me, and I think it's just kind of the other side of battle rap that is very much needed, in my opinion. And he definitely embodies that, man. I think he's great.
Yeah. So we've both gone for Lefty on that one then. And just to finish it off, Zen versus Marvwon. I've left that one because you had that battle there. But this is on beat.
I think, honestly, I'm going to struggle to give you an honest answer on that, bro. Because like what beats are they rapping on for starters? Like if they're gonna do 140 beats, because in that case I don't think Marv is gonna be able to.
That's true, but that's such a shame. Like if it's like grind beats and Marv has to like breathe and rap at this. Oh
yeah, exactly. But if it's slow sample based hip hop where he's gonna swag on it, Marvwon could fucking murder that. Do you know what I'm saying? Marvwon's a fucking amazing rapper, and especially like Marvwon's music is so good, bro. Like I will listen, like he, regardless of battle rap. If I heard of Marvwon just as an artist, I think he's sick.
When you battled Marvwon, he was literally like, even now, like his album came out and it was getting clout, like it was in the charts,
features and shit, and he's very well connected in the scene, man. Like he's a respected artist, man. It's like regardless of battle rap, he's up there, man. So yeah, I think that is gonna come down to the beat choice. Honestly, do think so. The beat choice and how much they respect each other's like styles, because I don't know how much Zen gives a fuck about hip hop, and I don't know how aware Marvwon is of grime at all. I don't know if he even fucking. I don't know, bro. Like it's gonna take some. I think it's gonna take some understanding from both sides, depending on the beat choice. Like if there's a grime beat and a fucking sample based slow Griselda-ish type of beat, I think I would make my decision based on that.
That what usually happens with on beats is that they have a choice of a beat each, and then like Don't Flop or whatever league, they choose a beat.
Right.
That from what I'm aware of, that's like, I think the not Lyrical Wars, that's the that's the Nigerian league. There is like on beat battle rap leagues, and that's how they operate. Where it is, they have the all that there, they pick a beat as well, and then they're given it a month in advance, and then they write for it.
This is the thing as well, though. Like, it's not going to be that much of a handicap because, man, you can rap slow over a grime beat, or you might find, like, I've heard a lot of Americans on Fire in the Booth where they'll just give them a UK beat and they'll find a pocket in it, and it's never grime, never sounds like grime, but even when it's on a grime beat, but they find a pocket and they might be able to find some. Man, they're both capable of rapping on both styles. Sure. Just I don't know if they can outdo each other at each other's game. I think that'll be a challenge.
The only thing I'll say, at least then, is because you've made a very, very good point there then about what sounds better, grime on a non-grime beat or hip hop on a non-hip hop beat. I think you could have a grind beat and someone kill it, and it sounds better than someone on a slow piano-ish Drake in my feels type
Yeah,
beat. You know?
yeah. Nah, you're
Like,
right, man. Like doing, and I'm not saying that that's all Zen's capable of. I'm sure
no, it's not. It is what he's known for.
yeah, it's his strength too. Like it's that's
Absolutely.
him dangerous. Like, so that's kind of how I'm thinking about him. But man, I'm sure they have a little bit more versatility than we can give them credit for, because it's hard to even imagine either of them
Yeah.
in that sort of situation. But it's going to be really, I think it's a really fucking interesting matchup, and I think it's sick. And I never saw, I don't think anyone would have saw that coming. And it's really cool that Marvwon stepped up for that. And it's such an outside of the box matchup.
Absolutely. And that's another one that smells like blood in the water for me. That smells an international taking a UK title, that smells like blood in the water rather than just a checkpoint. But
and do you know when you say, it's a very interesting point, because maybe I haven't respected what legacy Checkpoint has and the actual vibe, because my only real experience is my own experience back there, and I didn't really realize at the time that I was taking it outside of something that it's already known for. But I honestly do wonder whether Don't Flop is consciously making a decision to maybe lean into the old styles and take it back to what people do call the golden era of Don't Flop. Like, I don't think that would be the worst business decision for them at the moment, and maybe that's where maybe that's what the scene needs, bro. Because, do you know what I'm saying? I think what Premier Battles is doing is very. You can tell what they're doing, and it's working, and they're growing. And if I was running Don't Flop, I think that's what I'd be doing. I'd be trying to take it in a different direction. I don't think you can always completely focus on one thing. Like, Premier Battles still has very funny battlers, and they have funny battles, and I think you've got to include everything for it to be for the culture anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't just make it so it's what suits you. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do wonder whether that's what they're trying to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, and that would make sense. Like, why emulate and try and copy, thinking that you'll do better than what the people are doing? And what Don't Flop used to have is such a healthy balance of, right, you have big event, like birthday event, November, serious battles, right? And then you have summer standard, or, you know, like the big summer event, that was a serious event. And then maybe the start of the year, institution or something like that, somewhat a serious event, checkpoint. You had kind of like 4 serious events, and inside all them events was fun. It was all these other battles that were going on, and they were like the new crop coming in. It was a bit of fun. Some had some bars, some didn't, and then they were put on the pedestal. And it was a working method for Don't Flop for so long, where Premier Battles definitely is continuing to stack all the time. Sometimes a small card, like an undisclosed, becomes this massive event. And Plug, what was originally like the Plug series, which was originally just meant to be a small room, these guys versus these guys, Fiddler's Elbow, has become the biggest event in UK battle rap right now.
Yeah.
You know, like they need that. They maybe need a concentrated routine of when these events happen, and enough that I can follow as a fan and say, I know Don't Flop will have November, birthday weekend, 9th of November, hypothetically, somewhere early November. I'll book for that every year and I'll go, because I know what's happening.
Because you know what you're getting, kind of thing. You're
right. What I'm getting. April Fools, I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I know what I'm getting.
Really good point, man. That's a really good point. And it's just whether you do that model and have a variety of different events that cater to different styles spread out through the year, or if you just be like, you know what, we are this, like we lean more towards this, and that I don't. I actually don't know what I would do if I ran Don't Flop, to be honest.
It's really difficult, and as a way for yourself, Luna, that obviously like Quill kind of took on Don't Flop when he became champion after beating Crafty, and the whole year that like he was the top guy. You come back and do battles and Don't Flop, Lunar. Like, apart from Gemini, you're the top guy. If you stay specifically with Don't Flop, obviously you don't have to. You know, you become that figurehead and can move. You could be a chess player after a few battles because people are 79K views on a battle is unheard of at this point.
Yeah, man.
I
honestly don't. Like I said before, I do feel like I'm more of a throwback guy who's doing side quests and just sort of enjoying what I'm doing and doing what's right for my brand. And I see myself definitely as an asset to any of the leagues that I battle for because I can bring views and stuff. And I think that like that's cool, but I would never. I don't see myself in the near future trying to be the biggest guy in like in guy in any of these leagues, to be honest, man. But maybe distant future, man.
If before finishing up this interview, and then you can cuss me out this little second if you want. I think I would see you as I'm not going to compare you to Jake Paul. I know that sounds crazy, but you are a prize fight. So you're looking for prize fights for you. You're looking for things for your. I'm not trying to be the best boxer in the world. I'm trying to put on good matches. I'm trying I see this guy. I want him. I don't care. This is good for me. I'll take Tyson. I'll take Ben Askren. I'll take Tyron Woodley. I'll take these. I don't need to face Canelo Alvarez right now. I don't need to face these guys. Yeah. Give me the fun fights that I want to do that mean something to me, you know.
And like, I want freak show battles, man. I want like ridiculous fucking circus battles. Like
you're trying to fight someone with 3 arms.
Yeah, no, for real though. Like if there's anyone out there who has a fucking disformity or like an extra eye or like missing a limb.
But if I stop you right there, that sounds crazy.
I don't think disformity is even a word either. I meant deformity.
Yeah, but that's because you disformity. Oh
wow, what does that mean?
Canel, give me a call.
But yeah, man, like if there's anyone out there who's just who people think I should battle, I think I want to hear it because I am looking at it in that sense now, and that sounds like I'm disrespecting the people who I've already named because there's nothing freak showish about any of the names I named. In like it's just that they're such polarizing characters, bro, and they have their own corner of battle rap that really interests me, and I think it ties into what I'm trying to do. And I don't think any of them are like too much like each other, and I don't think any of them are too much like me, but I still think it makes sense. Like I'd love to see like actually Bill Collector battled Mew Lips and that was fucking great. I'd love to see in O Solo versus Mew Lips. I'd love to see O Solo versus Bill Collector, Mac Myron. The same goes for all these guys, bro. Like, I want to see that shit. It's exciting. They're so different, and that's what interests me right now. About
it would be hard for you to know. It would be hard for you to know outside of yourself the battles that people want to see. So you need people to tell you, this is who I think you need to see, and specifically your fans need to tell you that. Like,
I think that they need to take into account what I've said in this video, though, and know what angle I'm trying to come at it with, because I don't think a lot of people. Sometimes you have to show them. Like, I don't know if back in the day anyone would have wanted me to battle Uno. I know for a fact that they didn't want me to battle Bloodstraw for my first battle, but I knew what that was going to be. Well, I didn't know how big it was going to be, but
but you knew,
the battle was going to be crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes you have to. It's hard to see some people's angle. Sometimes, like, not a lot of people understand Lefty, and they wonder why, like, he ain't battling. Why he doesn't give a fuck about competing with some of these guys, and why he just wants to take it as a joke. But I think it's good when people have their own angle, man. And mine is not what's often seen in the scene right now. I think people have to bear with me, man, and just see my vision, and it'll
have faith. He will lead us up that hill. Just have faith. Yeah, have faith in Lunar C. well, Lunar, thank you so much for tonight. I really appreciate all your time. This has been an amazing. like I'm no, this won't get edited out or anything like that. Nothing, I don't think it'll be edited, but I just how I post this up. I was nervous for this. I went through 2 beers thinking you never know. I said you're from Brighton and I fucked it instantly. And
that was so fast as well.
Oh man, I can't believe it. I went Brighton. I went fuck. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. No, but I really appreciate this, man, and I appreciate your time. Like these, I've had your apps underneath, but let the people know where they get in touch, all the music and whatnot. I'll probably try and put some sort of music thing in the middle or something like that, just to give a bit of space and so they can hear your stuff and whatnot. Just let them know your socials, all of that, mate. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Lunar C FT on Twitter, the same old Twitter I've had for years. I got a new Instagram, I am Lunar C, but I'm also working on getting my old one back, my One Punch Willy one. I've got a TikTok that I can't remember what it's called. I hardly use it, so fuck that shit. Right. But yeah, go.
Your TikTok goes, like your TikTok that isn't you goes crazy.
Oh, I know, man. Everybody got on there and posted me, but got all my views before I got there, man. But yeah,
that's a hustle and a half.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm on all the streaming sites. Go check my music, Spotify, Apple Music, all them things. Once this battle's over, I'm possibly going to get back into doing a bit more stand-up. I'm dropping loose songs. I'm going to try and follow this battle up with one as soon as possible. Me and Blizzard are locked in, making bangers. I think we're a really good team. Me and Blizzard, man. Blizzard.
He was part of the group as well, wasn't he?
I think he was gonna make the beats at one point, and I just don't think it was his style, to be honest, bro. I think the tunes that I make with Blizzard are like 140 bangers, and we actually work so well, bro. He's such a sick producer, but that's not the only the shit that I do on albums is a little different from that. Big up Blah Records. I'm definitely wrong side. I'm definitely gonna be making another album on Blah Records, so look out for that, man.
You know, there's one last little note that I had on there. I know I've given you your floor and all that. I thought it'd be a good idea for you. Obviously, you are Lunar C, and I'm assuming you have a YouTube channel too.
Yeah.
It kind of would lean. This is going to be like a pitch for you. It would lean into your comedy side, and it would lead into a little bit in the battle rap side. Why are we not setting up a roast channel where something happens in the world as a hot topic, and you have a couple of minutes of roasting it through classic Lunar C style, cut and edited like a typical like SNL skit, and then post it on TikTok.
I love it, man. Well, did you see the video I did battling the mic stand with the cap on it?
Yes, I did. That's where the idea came from.
Yeah, well, I'm just sort of looking at it like, what could I do in between battles that will almost like warm me up for battles, and
you could be looking the Prince Charles shit. You could be looking at that frame and going, that looks like he's in Jam, or you know what I mean. You could be making punchlines about that and have it like TikTok style landscape, and your face pops in and making Lunar C jokes that we all connected with when we were younger.
This is it, man. Well, because I had just a few throwaway bars, and I was just sat like thinking what I could do the other day. It was just a spare of the moment thing. I was looking through my notes, and I was like, oh, there's a few bars here that I'm not using for anything, that like battle bars, just silly little punchlines. And I was like, man, I could do this in my bedroom, but what could I be aiming it at? And I was like, I saw my mic stand and thought, if I put a hat on that, it'll look like a battle rap. And I also was like, you know what? That's a good thing to practice on before a battle, because it's hard to put yourself into that context. And I don't have a fucking dance studio with a mirror where I can perform in front of it and shit, man. I don't. So like that was part of the idea too, man. But I am thinking, like, after I did that, I was like, man, it kind of would have been cool if I actually battled it as a mic stand with a cap on and made bars about that and did it more like that. So that if I do take that approach, there's a million fucking things I could do, bro. I could go battle a tree and have loads of tree bars. I could
see this is Joe Biden.
Yeah. But also, like, I like the inanimate object angle of it, where it's like Lunar C versus a coat hut, fucking Lunar C versus a fucking fridge. Do you know what I'm saying? I actually like that idea.
Yeah.
I've seen Shuffle, and I can't remember what rapper he was talking to, but a couple of people have spoke on Twitter about possibly doing this thing where they just target a celebrity and battle rap them on a video, you know, for their own personal
That's what I'm
content.
telling you to do. The Lunar C roast channel.
Yeah, nah, of course. You know what, man? Maybe I should speak to Shuffle about getting involved in whatever he's doing, playing, man. Because I think me and Shuffle could make some really good content anyway, man. Even if
I think so too. The contrast. That's why I thought the battle would have been good as well. The contrast between the two of you. Oh, it's almost like how your style is, and no disrespect. The Blizzard Mark Gris thing, because Shuffle T's very posh and you're very northern. You know, like, and the comparison would be like it'd be a natural thing from two people from two different ends dissing someone. And obviously, this is the stuff that people look for from you. They'll go, "Oh yeah, do you see Lunar C went at Kamala Harris? Lunar C went at Rishi Sunak." And then it was funny as hell. And he said you had to do your maths degree and parents, you know, like people could be doing that real quick with you, because it would be, as adults, we'll feel it, and the kids will find it funny because it's relative to what they're searching in their newsfeed.
Yeah, for sure, man. Me and Shuffle should make a fucking battle rap show, bro. Like some shit like that. That'd be sick. Do something.
Well, Luna, I will let you be. The time is like damn near 10:30, and I've wasted about 2.5 hours of your time. Thank you so much again. I'll let you be. I really appreciate this, man.
Nah, it's been a pleasure, bro. Thank you for having me, man. It's been good to talk, bro.